Right. So there's like this video over here, right? Wuthering Waves is slowly killing their players without them noticing. I got linked it the other day and I was just like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck about this one. And it turns out that those concerns might have been more valid than I initially had anticipated. Because there's obviously this comment over here talking about the settings, right? But then there's this one. And this is the one over here where I feel like stuff really, alarm bells started going off. Alarm bells started going off. Not defending Wuthering Waves here. The game is well known to choke on all CPU except the latest 3X whatever from AMD. I know what you're trying to portray here, but there's still so many issues with how you're testing these setups. And this guy's like a fucking nerd. Just listen to what he says over here. Like, you kept FSR for Wuwa while testing the GTX 1650, but then you leave it off for Cyberpunk while keeping frame generation on. Right? While leaving frame generation on. And so if you know what these terms are, you would know that that makes one game look a lot better and run a lot better than the other. Like, a lot better than the other. Because frame generation basically means that you get what's going on, right? So this looks like a potential caught moment by one of the nerds over here. A potential caught moment from one of the nerds over here, right? And so, why don't we go ahead? Why don't we actually take a look at this thing and see what it's all about? Maybe not now. Maybe a bit later on. But yeah, no, this one's apparently gotten a bit popular recently. Yeah, this one's gotten a bit popular recently. And I think like the main takeaway from this is maybe there's some nuggets of truth in here, but maybe there's also a little bit of that. Well, when you sort that by top comments, what you're gonna see is this, right? What you're gonna see is this. There's a lot of not actual like Wuthering Waves players in here, and you can tell that they're not actually Wuthering Waves players because they're the same people that I would see in Genshin Shell comment sections. So it's kind of like a mix of, they're probably just people bagging on this because it's anti-Wuwa for fun, without even like knowing any of the context. But obviously, we got to go check that out, too. Go verify some stuff. It's not really a long video either. And I think a lot of it is just, like, gameplay and stuff and, like, commentary of the things. So it's really easy to, like, skip through parts of it if it's just a bunch of noise. So, yeah, that one's there. But then there's, like, another thing that I kind of wanted to talk about. There's, like, another situation. He's got the same GPU as me, and I consistently hit 120 to 180 FPS on low-medium settings. Ooh. Okay, so this is like with like fucking ray tracing and all that shit on. I guess this is the thing. I don't know very many games that run actually well with like ray tracing and everything on. I think the point is that like if you want 120, you turn that extra shit off. I think that's kind of like the rules, right? Like who's hitting 120 with ray tracing? On like anything, to be honest. Like 120 with ray tracing. I feel like that's kind of wild. 1650 is a low spec card too. It's a fucking mobile one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, FSR doesn't work on NVIDIA cards either. So that's like another thing that's a little bit stinky. All right, but there's another video that I wanted to make that might be a little bit more important because it's actually like, well, based off the game, and it's this. Wait, let me just make sure I got everything pulled up properly. All right, y'all ready for this? Yes, it's going to be about the bike. It's going to be about the bike. It's going to be about flying. And it's going to be about some posts that I've seen over here, right? That I think that now that they've been posted for a while now, right? We had some time to actually like age on the take and talk and like actually explore Mengzhou and stuff and experience things. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't work properly in the region. And I've got, like, I'm going to be making some visuals and stuff simply to explain why. I think it's going to be very obvious what the solution is over here. All right, let's get this going. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a very special time of the update. And that is when we're approaching past the halfway point, right? When we're approaching kind of like survey time and when we're approaching the opportunity to actually give feedback to Kuro Games, to Wuthering Waves, so that the game can become better in the future. And this is a situation over here where I wanted to really wait on this take until we all had an adequate amount of time to either explore Mengzhou or make the decision to not explore Mengzhou. And when you hear the reason for why we're having this main discussion over here today about exploration, you'll understand why. Because we've got this post right here that I feel like you're all going to be able to resonate with now that you've had the time to experience Xuanfang and all of that. Unpopular opinion. The bike is janky and wings for flying are objectively better. The reason they're pushing bikes so much is to sell skins. And this is naturally tagging on to like the root core of the issue over here, right? This is kind of like a kind of like last step, but it's the most popular post of them all. You can see that being made 24 days ago, it is somewhat agreed upon in this subreddit. But there were some other posts as well. It's so uncomfortable to use the new motorcycle mechanic. Just let me use my $10 wings. That was even before Mengzhou was released, so that was like starting to form already. And then you got polls about whether or not the motorcycle should be brought back. And then this most recent one over here that I feel like is kind of like the catalyst for everything and is likely going to be the main feeling you guys have right now, because I think this photo over here encapsulates it perfectly. Just need to let some steam off. Even after all this time, I still can't stand the bike. The controls feel janky and it's just not very agile. I love the wings from Ritacida and I still catch myself thinking this would be so much better if I could just use my wings. And this screenshot in particular, I say it's amazing to demonstrate what I'm talking about for one main reason. Mengzhou has so much verticality, it's insane. Yes, it is the land of kind of like varying like peaks going up and down and some of the craziest like sort of like jut outs, basically rock skyscrapers in the environment. And you can see them in action right over here. The end result is that like trying to navigate these peaks, trying to navigate this verticality with the bike, where the verticality of the bike is somewhat there, but it's a little bit janky, is one of the most harrowing and painful experiences I think anyone's ever seen. I think you all kind of like went through a similar thing to me over here when, oh, that's not, oh. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, I'll go deal with that later. You probably all went through a similar experience to me right over here when you were doing something called farming for, and you know what? I don't think I have them. Shit, I don't think I have any in my inventory. Basically, farming for good old soy soys materials. And you probably did a couple of routes over here where you were like trying to get maybe to like the shaft post yard, right? Let's check this out real quick. And let me be the first person to tell you, I'm one of those individuals that made the decision not to actually explore Mengzhou. And this is the biggest reason for why. Bro, it makes me miserable. It truly does, to a degree, make me miserable. Like, let's just say I'm trying to get up to, like, that waypoint, right? It's like, I can, like, sort of do it, but then it's like, yeah, I'm out of charges right now, so like maybe I'll get there. Okay, so it's like you see over here, this is clearly one that's designed to work with the environment, right? But it's just simply a matter of like, okay, well now you got to go down here. Maybe you want to go all the way down here too. All right, so now that I'm down here, what do I do? Do you just like, I want to go there, but it's like I want to go open up the map now and go teleport somebody somewhere else so I can begin that journey. Do you see what I'm talking about over here already? Like, it's frustrating. It's like frustrating because you oftentimes end up in these. Bro, how do I turn? Sorry, I need to turn that off. It's like in another language. Like, and then you're like, all right, well I can't angle it up, bro. And it's like, all right, okay, all right, wait. All right. Bro. They have, like, all of, like, these weird little gadgets and stuff, right? But they kind of, like, feel like, bro, they feel like mobile game ads in the game. Like, I don't really know what it is. It feels like, kind of, like, inorganic and just, like... Oh, right, and then... That's just the short gameplay demo over there. Now let's just now let's go back to some glory days, right? We all like let's just go back to some glory days over here. I feel like this is a great location for us to take a look at, right? The Averado Vault. Let's just take a trip down memory lane. Just imagine this in Mengzhou. I'm just telling you, just imagine this in Mengzhou and then being able to explore like this with peaks that are that high. Yeah, I'm being so for real with you, bro. Like just conserve your flight energy too. Do you see what's happening here? It's just, when a place is made with verticality, the ability to kind of like more freely move is so much more conducive to actually exploring the environment, right? So much more conducive to actually exploring the environment. And my personal take is this. The statement here is probably correct. The statement here is probably 100% right. Unpopular opinion. The bike is janky and wings for flying are objectively better. The reason they're pushing the bike so much is to sell skins. And this is a fair point of critique to make, right? This is a fair point of critique to make because the bikes have the potential to have skins that are far more appealing, right? That a player will actually want to get because you feel like you're getting more for, well, like you're getting like more rendering, more customization, more actual stuff for the money that you're spending. And I think the solution is truly just this simple, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't you just turn all of these bike skins also into, like, dual-purpose skins? Just retroactively go in and turn all of these into glider skins as well. And so when you buy one, you get the glider skin too. Just make every equipment cosmetic retroactive as well, because it's like, I'm gonna be real, most of the work over here is designing the PNG, right? And they just slap it on the vehicle. That's the main type of customization we're getting, right? We're customizing the PNG that shows up on the side, then slapping it on the car. Maybe this one's a little bit different, but like, you know, it's a premium one, right? It costs extra, so you put in the extra work. There are so many ways to monetize the gliders as well. And then you kind of get like a 2-for-1 where maybe some people, they want to buy because of the glider skin, then they get the motorcycle, and then they buy for the motorcycle skin and they get the glider, right? But I guess this is the thing, right? You don't need to, like this is not like a French Revolution situation. You can have your cake and eat it too here if you're Kuro Games by simply doing that. Because then you can excuse the higher price tag too on these now, right? Oh, 24, well, you actually get 2 skins. You actually get 2 skins if you buy this one. And I'm gonna be honest, if you're making the glider skin, I don't think you're doing that much extra work, bro. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think you're doing that much extra work to add a glider skin onto all of these as well. More value for the dollar, and then of course, you get the 2 birds for 1 stone to be able to sort of fix the Mengzhou exploration experience. Because I think this is another thing that obviously, the cat's kind of like out of the bag right now, and people have already been sort of like talking about it. And you've already seen Mengzhou doing it in certain cutscenes. Yeah, people are already talking about another form of transportation that Wuwa'S characters oftentimes do in this universe, and that is fly on swords. So, like, at this point, right, it's kind of just like, that's what a lot of people, like, it's kind, I don't even know what the bike is kind of like doing here already, right? If that's something that's slated to be upcoming. Because, well, that's like an actual part of the Wuwa'S mythology, and we already see Mengzhou doing it in lore. I think a lot of people are expecting she's probably going to do that on the battlefield, right? And it's not just a matter of, like, then what else is, like, then this thing kind of becomes even, like, more diluted, right? If that's even, like, the case. And this is, I think, the worst part about all of it, bro. Like, they added retarded shit to the map like this to make bikes feel better. And I've already talked about a couple of them before, but, like, bro, what is this? Like, are you serious? Like this is what I like. Wouldn't flight have just been? Oh, did my game just crash? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been getting this UE4 error so much more recently, and I don't know what it is. I've been getting that. That one. I don't even know what that one is. It's not even like that one's actually new. And it's like the frame rate isn't even bad. What even is causing that one? Everyone's getting that crash? Oh, that has to be in the new update then. Yeah, okay. So I think I think one of the mid-patch updates did it. Yeah, it's a new thing? Okay, because I have not crashed at all like the past week. Okay, all right. So it looks like our mid-patch updates are fucking the game too. Yeah, it looks like our mid-patch updates are fucking the game too. Yo, go make videos about this thing, bro. Like, this is now this over here, this is a real issue people are having. I don't crash once, but I also don't use the bike. Is the bike causing the crashes? Are people mostly crashing when they're on the bike? It's on the bike and in Wuwa. Okay, those both make sense because Wuwa spawns a bunch of mobs, right? So maybe if you're like in a nightmare nest or stuff like that, it can break it. I lose like 10 to 20 FPS. I crash without the bike. Okay, so the crashes are just occurring in like this fucking random ass update that they did. Okay, well that's a little bit goofy. Might be due to RTX. Do I even fucking have RTX on, bro? Let me see over here. Oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe I should turn my settings down a little bit. Oh, ultra high foliage density probably is... That might be the issue. What if... I don't think that needs to be... I don't think that needs to be there. There we go. Okay, so yeah, they added shit like this to the fucking game over here that I guess like crashes your shit as well. But this is kind of... It's clunky. And it kind of makes this organic area almost feel like a giant mini game to explore. Is that... Having this many interactables at such like constant sort of like bursts, right? It takes the exploration experience, right, and makes it... I don't know. I feel like it's removing my I feel like it's removing the authentic feel. That's my personal take. And I think that the devs could definitely do a lot better in the rest of the region moving forward. Because right now, I don't feel like Mengzhou, for a lot of people, because of the bike, is particularly that fun to explore. Because this is the big difference that I can make between these two regions. And this is where we're going to start pulling out some of the visual identifiers. The reason why the bike worked pretty well in Lahai Roi is very, very, very simple. If you were to take the sort of like design, right, the architecture of Lahai Roi, it's kind of like this, right? It's a flat line with like a couple of like peaks and like curves and stuff like that, right? Maybe like a giant block like that, but it's like, you know, it's relatively like flat, right? And so when you're like flying and stuff, right, it's like woo woohoo, and then it's like boo woohoo, and then it's like boo woohoo, you're like good, right? You're fine. There's no issues. And the biggest example of that actually shows up over here where you go to, well, where flight was introduced in the fucking Dimir Plains. And you can kind of see that is the literal structure of Dimir Plains. It's made for the bike's type of flight. That's what it is made for. Because you don't need insane verticality over here, right? You actually feel like, even though it does go up somewhat high, bro, there's nowhere even close to the levels of what we saw before. Everything is relatively achievable. I think this is the highest peak in Dimir Plains. It's fucking up here, bro. That's nothing. And so naturally, it's not going to feel as bad with limited number of jumps and very low verticality if, well, this is the height of where you are. It doesn't go any further than this, right? And so you can effectively like glide to the end of Dimir Plains from up here. So yes, you don't have any fucking problems. You're good. that is not even close to the experience in Mengzhou, bro. Mengzhou looks like fucking this, man. Bro, this is like Mengzhou. Bro. It's like that, bro. Like, that's fucking Mengzhou. Fuck it, we need to draw some extra, man. Fuck it. That's Mengzhou, bro. That's Lahai Roy. That's Mengzhou. Bro, you gotta take this stupid ass fucking bike, right? You gotta go down. You just like booster. Wait a little bit. Booster. And then like boo do 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 do. Alright, go over here. Booster. Alright, go down. Booster. Bro! That's like the path you're fucking taking, bro. It's so frustrating. And then you get to the point where you're like down here, right? And you're like, all right, do I want to wait for like 10 seconds to like boost? Like, do I want to wait 10 seconds? Or am I just going to click this fucking menu and go teleport elsewhere, bro? If you're at the point where you're like tabbing out to like go look at your map to instead click a teleport point to continue your exploration, I think it's fucked. Right, it's fucked compared to what we were doing before, where you kind of just went from place to place without needing to teleport, but bro, you actually feel stuck here, and it's time to teleport. And remember, that little pit that I was in before, bro, like, again, this experience enough should be an... Oh my god. These look great, but, like, now this gives me PTSD. Yeah, I get PTSD now when I look at those, because now I'll think about trying to navigate this shit with the bike. Do you like that? No, you don't like that, do you? Remember, bro, this is how... Bro, come the fuck... Oh, like, imagine you're over here, bro. What do you do now? Dude, I'm about to quit out the game. I'm just saying, right? Y'all have been here. Oh my, wait, bro. Dude, it's so clunky. Wait, that was my... What the hell? Give me my big jump. Where's my big jump? Bro, it's bugged. Wait, I'm out of big jumps? Bro, I don't even know the mechanics, bro. I didn't even know there were mechanics like that. Alright, so, yeah, I guess that is correct. Alright, so after I do my 3 big jumps... Alright, so let's just go through the experience of climbing this thing. Oh, no. Okay, now... All right, so as you can see, as you can see, that is a rough situation over there. I actually alt F4'd the game. I actually alt F4'd the game because I didn't want to deal with that shit. It's frustrating. And that's why I don't want to actually explore it. Because I went through that experience trying to get Soy's materials, right? And I was like, dude, it's kind of pissing me off to collect ascension mats. Because I got to go from building to building and, like, fly from place to place. And, like, just simply navigating this region makes me want to not be here. It just makes me not want to be here. And so, yeah. That's my personal take on it. That's my personal take on why we've been seeing so many posts. And hopefully, right, we're going to see some sort of adjustment for the future, because I truly do not feel like this is a, like, fun experience for most people. And I am constantly in this state of, like, you guys know this idea, right? Where once you experience something, you can't experience it again. there's a lot of people, right, that probably wish they could erase their memory of version 3.1 and experience the iMyth story again, right? And it would be like amazing for them to do that. And part of me doesn't want to experience and ruin, right, the exploration of Mengzhou, because I think it's a beautiful area that looks amazing, that literally looks peak, but I hate being there because of the bike. So, like, I don't want to, like, hate explore it with the bike right now and then just have a bitter memory of the region forever after that. Because I feel like it could be fixed. Is that fair? Is that okay? And I think that's a take a lot of people have at this point. Bike has music. Great. 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 So does this fucking application called YouTube, you fucking moron. What the like, bro, if bro, add an MP3 player to the wings, bro. I don't give a fuck. Dude, if that's like your big selling point, go fuck yourself. Dude, are you serious? Bro, add an MP3 to the bike. What the hell are you talking about, bro? Like, why you acting like it's an exclusive? What, like you act like it's fucking like Kuro got that through a deal with Satan and like they can't replicate it again. What do you mean? It's a fucking MP3, bro. Come on, dude. It's a fucking MP3 player, bro. Add a radio? No, it's not even a radio. It's a fucking MP3 that the game loads up when you're in the vehicle, bro. It's not that hard to do. Can we use the gay echo again? Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, we all remember that guy. Anyways. I delayed this video for a reason. Because I wanted people to actually have the opportunity to experience all of this themselves. And if you're somebody, right? Let's just say that has done all the Mengzhou exploration, that has explored the land of Zhuanfang, and you liked it, that's okay. But let me ask you this question. Would you have liked it more if you had a better form of flying? Would you have liked Mengzhou and its exploration more if you had a better form of flying? And I think that is an answer everybody can comfortably say yes to. I don't think there's a single person that's going to say, I think knowing how both flights work, it would have been better to have the bike one. I don't think there's a single person there. You get rid of clutter on the map. You get rid of those weird green autistic fucking flight paths that look like from... Guys, part of like the weird blend is like the tech looks out of place to a degree, bro. Like those little green things look like they belong in Lahai Roy. I can get the little shooters. I can get those, right? Because they just look like floating Chinese objects. But the, like, projected green pads, that's like a fucking Lahai Roy high-tech laser universe shit. Not where, like, people are wearing ancient Chinese dresses and shit, bro. Thematically, I think it's hurting the region as well. But I think you can keep them as long as you bring the flight back in, right? Or a different form of flying, sword flying. I don't know. But it's just me, personally, I'm getting too frustrated navigating the landscape here. And I don't want to feel frustrated while I'm playing. And it feels like a frustration simply due to the fact that the geography, I did not feel any of this in Demir Plains. The geography is simply just not meant for the bike as a vehicle. At least not here. Maybe somewhere else, but not here. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out. Well, I'm just saying, monetize wings and, like, put wings in the place where they're guys, like, think about it this way. All that weird, janky shit in the sky is there just so the bike feels more like wings. I hope you understand that. All, like, that janky shit where it, like, teleports you into, like, a little hand that shoots you out, and then, like, the fucking green, neon, lit-up pads, they're all just so like the bike feels slightly better and like a bit more like flying. That's the only reason. And if you're at that point where you're adding like this mess to the map to like make the exploration feel possible, it's just stupid. Mengzhou has super fast futuristic things. I get it. But those green pads are actually gross. Yeah, they literally look like a neon green Band-Aid to the exploration issue. Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna lie, 100%ed Mengzhou, but I never use those. So this is the thing. There are some people where as long as you are progressing towards something, they'll have fun doing it. Those are what we call the grinders. There are a lot of games, right, that are like fucking shit, but because you can grind it, the people play them. And I'm getting to the point where if you're somebody that's out here that's saying, yeah, I like pressing E 3 times, waiting on a ledge, then pressing E 3 more times, then waiting on a ledge, then pressing E 3 more times, then waiting on a ledge to climb this is fun, then great, you're a grinder, bro. But like, you probably one of those dudes that like banged rocks against each other back in like 1000 BC and you had fun too. So like, that was your ancestors. So like, maybe let's not comment on stuff like that. We good? Like those are your ancestors, and so in game, you're like, boost. That's what I imagined. The people that said that they loved it. That's what I picture in my head. We good now? We good? Again, and that's only for the people that think that like the boost method for climbing is good. Okay? Cuz like that is shit. I think we can all agree that's fucking shit. You got to be a special person to think that that's good. St. Dewey exploration. I'm gonna be honest. This is a crazy thing. I think I just don't like bikes. Yeah, I think the main reason why I haven't been doing Lahai Roy is I just don't like bikes. No, like, I don't like bikes or racing games. I'm beginning to realize that now. I just don't like them, so, like, I just don't like vehicles. I think that's the main thing. I just don't like racing games or bikes or vehicles. Like, I don't like driving in any game. It might be because driving with WASD sucks. That's probably why. It's probably because driving with WASD is actually not very fun. It's like my fingers are doing the splits to drift. You know what I mean? You gotta like fucking splay your fucking hands to like drift, bro. If you're on the if you're on the mouse and keyboard, you know what I mean, right? You gotta be like clicking like W, like shit. Hey, bro, it's like you're fucking doing a gang sign. You're doing a gang sign to drift on the keyboard, bro. What? You gotta press the W button, the D button, the space button, the S button, and shift. W, SD, space, and shift. What are you doing with your hands, bro? It kind of hurts. I'm going to be honest. I don't think my hands are made to move like that constantly. So that could be another reason. No one is pressing shift in racing games. That's why you're bad at them, because that's usually the drift or the handbrake button. Yeah, like usually one of the buttons associated with drifting is on shift. Or that's what I assume it is in 99% of situations. Oh, guys, we might have to make an extended video about why this virtual crisis is so bad. I've linked it down basically to like the core roots. So the -ER essentially makes it right so that your rotations are bricked. But the enemies have so much HP, you can't kill them in the time limit unless you're doing like a bunch of proper rotations. And so if you're going in, building up ER, not using outro skills, you never even have the damage to clear within 5 minutes. And so you're actually just fighting for 5 minutes until the enemies take like 10x damage and then die. That's it. It's just a 5-minute slog for every fucking fight. Because you literally cannot do enough damage because of the buffs. If they remove the ER thing, it would be better, but it wouldn't solve the core issue. You might. Because it basically just turns into this. If you remove the ER, then the fight just turns into do 10 perfect rotations in a row or the boss doesn't die. The boss has so much HP, unless you do 10 perfect rotations in a row, the boss is not dying until the 5-minute mark. And so the end result becomes, if every fight is going to be dragged out until the 5-minute mark because this bitch has 10 million HP, bro, there's no point in play. You're just running around for 5 minutes. And then fighting. Is that fun? Dodge slot for 5 minutes and then you can fight because there's no point in damaging the enemy beforehand. Because you can't kill them anyways. So why not just damage them until when they take 50x the damage? It's literally kite for 5 minutes and then fight them. That's it, bro. And this is the thing. If that's what people want to call fun, good, engaging, hard content, dodge for 5 minutes, then one rotate the boss, you have cancer. That's called the dumbest fucking content I think the devs have ever introduced in this game. Where the only way to clear S0R1 is to run around for 5 minutes, then one rotate the boss. Is that actually what people are... Wait, is that actually what people are trying to say is like the shit? Run around for 5 minutes, and then one rotate the boss. Because that's the only way you clear with S0R1 outside of like a couple of like... Bro, are there even any S0R1 cops that can clear the husk? I'm just wondering, are there even any S0R1 cops that can clear the husk within 5 minutes? I don't know. I cleared it all within 5 minutes, except the last boss. Okay, so let me just ask a quick fucking question, right? And let me just ask a quick fucking question. Oh my god, my login session expired. Are you serious? Bro, how did that happen? Oh my god. Bro, I need to open up my fucking Chatterino, bro. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. Oh, this shit is so annoying. All right. Where are we at? Where are we at? All right, motherfucker. What sequence node are your units at? Easy, like just an easy question. What sequence nodes are your units at? And which team did you use? Okay, so if you don't respond, we're gonna assume you used... Why is everyone so mad? All my accounts are on S0. Okay, so now do you have any proof? Yeah, I can. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna get banned, and my mods will unban you once you DM them proof. All right.
The water meets the sky. Memories take shape. Illusions of the past. Step forward. I protect.
It's just that simple. See, now I don't have to worry about it. And then, if the guy stays banned, well, now I just got an AstroTurfer out of here.
Keep this up. A life as fleeting as the first snow.
Why ban him before proof? I don't want to have to wait for him. So, like, he made a crazy claim, and then he can back it up. It's just that simple. Right? I think that's very fair. If you make a crazy-ass claim, right, you gotta back it up, or the person spreading misinfo gets banned.
Beyond lush haze, the rainfall of March.
Plus, I don't need to wait on him.
I could use another dancer. Perfect memories,
If he doesn't do anything,
scattered memories.
doesn't post anything, we move on.
I inscribe every edge. Too late to escape.
How can you DM on Twitch? Yeah, there's fucking Twitch whispers, bro. You didn't hear about Dr. Disrespect? Yeah, Twitch has whispers, bro. That's how he got caught. Yeah, everyone should know that Twitch has a whisper system. The fuck? You've been living under a rock, bro? He can't see the mods or members. So this is the thing, guys. You can go ahead and look at the fucking VOD and see who has a sword next to their name. Then join my Discord and then go find the person with the sword next to their fucking name. And if you're not able to do that, you're probably too retarded to, like, complain about being banned anyways. Like, bro, do I want, like, this with some technologically illiterate, like, fucking toddler who can't even get that going talking shit in my chat? It's like, bro, like, imagine somebody that incompetent also is shit-talking you. Bro, that means that whatever they're saying can't make sense either. They're just saying a bunch of bullshit because they're dumb. Saint can talk so fast, you guys might actually be surprised. Like, I could do a verse of Rap God. A verse. A verse. Proof? I would need to practice for it. So, like, I'm good on that. Yeah, no, that's not something you can't just go cold into that. That's not how it works. Yeah, I think anyone that can tell you can't just go cold into fucking Rap God. That's gonna be one of the worst things that you've ever done. Like, you gotta, if you know you're about to go on, you gotta know you're about to go on, bro. All right. So, why don't we go ahead? Why don't we start talking about this and break it all down? Does anyone have, like, the clips of the 5-minute clears? I see now. Stalling for about 5 minutes in high stress levels results in a 999% attack and damage buff. Or something along those lines. Because that's what seems to be right. Check this clear? Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That appears to be correct. Like, not even wrong. Guys, this is the meta. And then look, you won. Like, dude, he dies in half of an ability. And this is what people do, right? Look, it's the second it hits the 5-minute mark, bro. Look. You just queue up, you wait, right? You get your DPS's outro skill ready here. Just look. Bro, look. It hasn't activated yet. So you just queue it up, you chew yawn ult here, you just wait, and then you face roll the boss. You just don't appreciate high difficulty game modes. Yeah, say just wants rotation slop in the game. I cleared on 40 difficulty, so I'm really good. You're a fucking caveman, bro. Are you serious? Bro, you're a fucking caveman, bro. This is truly the strat people are taking because the enemies have so much HP. This is literally non-sarcastically the main strat against the Husk. It's literally this easy, bro. And it's basically just, if you just do this against every boss, you get 40. You do 160. That's what people are doing, then telling you this is easy. Imagine you misplay and have to wait another 5 minutes. Yeah, it happens. But that's just the thing. This is an endurance test of how long you're willing to just play the game. Sorry, not play the game. Run around. Because the enemies have too much HP to clear with S0R1 units. People wouldn't do this if the enemies didn't have times 10 fucking 1000% HP, bro. It's dodge slop until you one-rotate the boss. Because the enemies have too much HP to kill with S0R1 characters. This is the end. This is Virtual Crisis, bro. Is this good? People say this is good. You like this? Because this is what happens when you have minus 25% ER, so you can't even do proper rotations. Bro, with S0R1 units, I could comfortably say it takes like 10 rotations to kill these bosses. And so if you have no ER, you can't even do the rotations to have the DPS required, so you have to go to 5 minutes anyway. So why the fuck would you even fight them? If you're going to go past 5 minutes anyways, and you could just one-rotate the boss at 5 minutes, why would you even fight them before 5 minutes? You don't have the damage or the ER to kill them in time when you can just do it risk-free like this. And that is what I am saying is so wrong with this game mode, but you're still going to have some retarded people telling you it's a skill issue. Bro, you cannot clear with S0R1 units. You gotta go to the fucking time limit. And the reason why is because ER makes it so that you can't fucking fund your character's abilities. Why getting the 40? Why do you play this game? Why do you build your units? Why do you roll echoes? Why would you roll an echo when your character already clears? It's so it can be higher, right? So you can get bigger numbers because you like having bigger numbers on your character. And so if you're the same person that has ever rolled an echo before to make a piece better, you can't ask the question of why do people want 40 on Virtual Crisis? Because bigger number better. And you're basically asking people why they want bigger numbers in their gacha game. Are you retarded? Because people want bigger numbers. That's really it. Why does somebody roll an echo when they already have a perfect build? Because they want bigger numbers on the perfect build. Why does Ryuku-sensei bitch and moan every single day about echoes? Because he wants bigger numbers too. For rewards, you don't need to, but for big number, I agree. Exactly. Guys, do I get extra rewards from rolling another echo on my fucking Hiyuki? Do I get extra rewards from building more on top of this? No. But bigger number better, so I will roll an echo anyways. So how can you ask the question of why somebody's doing 40? Why would somebody do 40? Because they want to have a fun fight and accomplish some of the hardest things in this game. But this is not hard. This is not hard. This is not difficult. This is just boring, annoying, and not fun. And that's the only way to clear this fucking bullshit. Or you can organically fight them for 5 minutes, right? Any mistake will set you back to 0. You can just organically fight them, right? And then finish off the last 20% of their HP once the 5-minute mark hits. But like, when you one-shot them, why would you do that? Yes, you could just go through, fight them normally, and then wait for the timer to run out. But that's so stupid, isn't it? Because you're exposing yourself to like quadruple the number of fucking mistakes, bro. Anyways. I'm getting ahead of myself. Why don't we just go ahead and actually start filming the video now? I bet it probably seemed like we were filming the video. We actually weren't. All right. Let's get this one started. Let's get this one started. It did? Well, that should just make it truly feel real how professional I am. The only ones having fun are Dan Jin mains. Guys, basically the only people having fun on this are the same people that solo holograms. Like 1% of the fucking population, bro. Like this is just a really long solo hologram. That's it. Because you were fighting for 20 minutes anyways when you were solo hologramming. It's just the same thing. All right, let's get this going. Bro, this clip is fucking hilarious. I'm gonna be real with you over here. This clip is like objectively. Bro, they should have been playing like that. Is that like too old for like the Zoomers nowadays? I feel like that's still like legit. You could have just done that at the start. I like how everyone was able to get it though. Like, y'all knew what I was talking about right off the bat. How did you do that so accurately? What you'll find out if you actually try is that voices are actually really easy to manipulate. It's just people never try because like they're embarrassed at the sound of their voice. So like what you got to first do is love the sound of your own voice first, and then you can do whatever you want with it. The second step is don't sound like shit. But that's like a lot of people fail at that part. So like better luck next roll. Who made these bosses go through Elusive Realm for echoes? All right. So this is truly where we need to get into a difference between toxic positivity and retardation, because and actual critique, because this is just toxic negativity or toxic positivity because you don't even have a reason why you're disagreeing. Because there are a lot of reasons not to like Virtual Crisis. There's a lot of reasons not to like it. All right. Where's my next little thing down? Okay, here we go. Let's get this started. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as you're all aware, we uploaded a video somewhat recently regarding one of Wuthering Waves' returning game modes. And that game mode is, of course, Virtual Crisis. And I had a lot of points to critique, a lot of points of critique to make for the game mode. And as you can see over here, with a title like Virtual Crisis is Ruined, blah, 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 and then me on the thumbnail, just so you know in advance, the thumbnail is not doing this shit any favors either. You're going to see 1,028.6% HP increases for some of the bosses, so on and so forth. So we are not going into this with a positive outlook. And as you can see, the response from the player base has been pretty supportive of a lot of the statements that I've been making over here. And there were some bits of feedback that I had for the Kuro Games team that I really wanted to hone in on today and bring to life, because it is truly getting to a point where I don't even think people are defending Wuthering Waves for valid reasons anymore. I think they're just defending Wuthering Waves because they want to, in the Genshin level way that almost has me thinking these guys are astroturfers. And let me explain why. Virtual Crisis as a game mode seems to have degraded a lot compared to the prior resets. And I haven't seen a lot of positivity surrounding it for one main reason. The fights are actually at the point where they feel like they're not possible. Specifically, bosses like Hivatia and the Reactor Husk, they feel like they're not possible with S0R1 units. But wait, Saint, you're going to say, but Saint, I saw a video of Dan Jin soloing Virtual Crisis. There was like some Chinese guy that went in and got like 40s, right? 40 stress levels on that boss that you're saying is impossible. So like truly, you must be full of shit, bro. You just dog shit at the game. And this is the reality over here. Let me show you what this run looked like. This is how much HP they had. This motherfucker has been fighting the boss for 4 minutes. Sorry, 5 whole fucking minutes, and has done that much damage to it. That is their progress on the HP bar after 5 minutes. Then the 5-minute mark hits, and then something changes in the run. Watch this. Wait, now he's done in one attack the literal damage that he just did. Watch this ult. Wait. The actual fight just doesn't even begin until here. You see here, it says, bro, this guy has the funniest fucking, bro, this just truly encapsulates how dog shit Virtual Crisis is right now. Start. Look at the chapter. Start. Act real start. Real start. Because this is just cosmetic. This is just dodging for 5 minutes. And then he can actually damage the enemy and defeat them. And so it says 5 minutes and 30 seconds over here, but really 5 minutes was spent not actually interacting with the enemy or doing anything except pressing the right click button. Yes, he attacked, but what was the point of doing any of these attacks? Of course, obviously, this is for a skill flex, but guys, when this is the damage that a solo Danjin is doing to the boss, what do you think an actual team is doing to the boss? Not enough. And guys, these enemies have so much HP because they're getting plus 1,000%. Do you want to know the tactic people are using to defeat them? People go through the experience of fighting these guys with S0R1 characters. They use their whole team, right? And then they realize, I did absolutely no damage. But once I hit the 5-minute mark, I start dealing damage. That's because apparently, right? I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but apparently there's supposed to be some sort of like 999% attack and damage buff for you and the boss. So you will one-shot the boss and they will one-shot you. That's how it's supposed to work, right? And then when people see how much HP the bosses have and that their damage before 5 minutes is meaningless, this is what people do, bro. Sorry, I need to turn that shitty thing off. But like, bro, this is what people do now. This is the new meta. Why fight them when you could die and you're not dealing any damage to them anyways? What's the point of fighting the enemies before 5 minutes if you don't do any damage to them? Because people are just realizing this. I can just stall, run double healers, not even fight the enemy, or just kite them, right, with somebody that flies for 5 whole fucking minutes. And then once the 5-minute mark hits, bro, get ready. Look at this. This is what you do. You just do your setup in the last couple of seconds. You go onto your sub DPS, like a Chuyan here, for example, right? Get all your stuff, and then at the last minute, you press Alt, do all your stuff, right? And then the second the deathmatch starts... Bro, just look at this. So the meta literally is run around for 5 minutes because the damage you deal to the boss doesn't matter before 5 minutes. Then just one-shot them by setting up a rotation right as the 5-minute mark hits. And that's what people do because the HP inflation is so retardedly high. And that's what people do, guys. When you have ridiculous debuffs like this one. Bro, this is the part over here that truly pisses me off about what Kuro did. They have modules that just remove 25% ER from your whole team. And like this is how you know I'm not bullshitting, bro. They have a module right fucking here where they remove it. Let me go find that shit, bro. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? Bro, why? Why is that even there when all it does is make it so you can't do rotations? Do you want to know one of the reasons for why it's not possible for S0R1 teams to clear the husk? It's because of this. Let's just say, right, you run a traditional sort of like, hey, let's just look over here, right? A good team for this husk are these three, right? The Mono Geo team. Basically, the guy is so tanky because he has plus 1,000% HP. You require like 10 rotations with this team to clear. How are you doing rotations with this much HP with minus ER? Sorry, Mono Glacio. You know what I'm talking about. How are you supposed to do 10 rotations in this team without ER? You're not going to. Your shit's going to get fucked up. So you don't even bother trying to fight the boss because you can't do rotations and you need 10 to clear it before 5 minutes. What do? You just sit there and dodge slop until the timer hits the 5-minute mark, then one-shot the boss with the freezes. That's the tactic people are taking when the HP inflation is so high S0R1 units can't clear. But guys, there are still going to be comments, right? This is what I'm thankful for. The community, at the very least, seems to generally agree this type of gameplay promotion of like pseudo skill where all you do is literal dodge slop for 5 minutes, then one-shot the boss in one rotation. People seem to be generally agreeing this is not good. Hivantia can go to hell in this game mode. Hivantia is basically the equivalent of pre-nerf Radon. I'm greedy and stupid. That's why they... And this is where the comments start getting retarded. This is why they call the game rotation slop. You see a CC whose ego is built on being a good player have rotations taken away and they're fucking lost. Yeah, you're right, bro. This is the pinnacle of skillful gameplay right here. Yeah, you know, I should just do this. Show off. Hey, yeah, bro. I should just do this, show off my 160 score, and then everyone will think I'm good at the game. Yeah, let's just do this on every single boss, and then show off our 160 40 stress clear with S0R1 units, and then say we're the best player ever, because we did this. Guys, this is like stolen valor. Ooh, you could run around like a headless chicken and press the dodge button because you memorized their moveset and you banged your head against the wall for like an hour on a Sunday afternoon to get all the medals. Bro, did you have fun doing this, though? I don't think anyone could comfortably say they're having fun doing this, and the only thing that they're having fun getting is getting the fucking 40 stress level star bonus medal, bro. That's the only thing you're doing this for. You're not playing for the Virtual Crisis experience. You're playing just for a fucking medal at this point. And, bro, this is what people are going... You can't clear organically because you don't do enough damage. People running double healers and shit, bro. And I think there's one stage where you can realistically actually clear them. I think you can actually clear the Twin Striders because you can damage both of them at once. You can effectively deal double damage on these guys as long as you're able to rotate and then, you know, freeze them at the same time, do whatever, right? So, Stage 2 is probably the only one that feels possible with S0R1 units. Maybe Stage 3 as well if your character can hit air units. But how is it that half of the stages outright just feel impossible without this whole goofy-ass stall method and then one rotate at 5 minutes method? I don't really know. That, and these guys are so buggy, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, bro, these guys have the worst visual clarity, plus the buggiest attacks I've ever fucking seen. I would have, like, these fucking flight little drone, like, fighter jets, right? Little Decepticons coming at me, and they'd freeze halfway through their path, bro. I think this is probably the best example of the lack of playtesting, at least on some of the fights. Bro, just check out, bro, just check out this shit, man. Just check out this shit right here. This one got me fucked up. This one got me so fucked up. All right, enjoy your 2 seconds of invulnerability. We can do this. Come on. Bro, why are you... Oh, I forgot they do this too. So, like, somehow I didn't clear this. Why are you alive? Why are you alive? What was that? Dude, I died to that. Dude, this is, remember, these are long fights. Bro, why are the enemies even able to... Bro, I've never seen, like, a lag that bad before. What the fuck? Is that a part of their normal moveset, or is that like... And like I said before, I had almost killed these guys at, like, the 2:30, 3-minute mark. That's because I had damaged them both at the same time the entire run. So yeah, we almost had an opportunity over there. So I can safely say it feels like almost every level is sort of fucked in some way. This guy, for example, you can't fight them unless you have, like, range characters because he's not on the ground half the time. Good luck. Like, bro, I know Danji could clear this, but, like, she's not having... You already know she's not having a good time there. These guys are visually cluttered and buggy as hell. And then this bullshit over here, these two, bro. They have too much HP. And the end result is this. Virtual Crisis just feels like either a chore, a literal, like, job-level task, if you're not, if you have S0R1 units, and I assume it just feels like a regular hologram if you have whale-level investment. And that, to me, is a level of balance that I feel like is not really conducive to the entire player base, because, guys, I think a lot of people generally are not very happy with the game mode right now. I think a lot of people generally are also not very happy with 3.5 second half, because this is the cornerstone game mode of the patch, and bro, it's kind of not fun at all at the max difficulty when last year's Virtual Crisis was actually so much fun. And now this is the last point that we're going to be addressing over here, because there's always going to be people, right, that are going to make this comment. They're always going to say this sort of thing when it comes to choose your own difficulty and stuff like that, right? There's going to be a lot of people making it. And I got to scroll down a little bit further for this one. Anything above the required stress level is totally optional. There's no additional rewards other than the number and the title to flex. You are the one to flex the 40 stress level and obtain a 160 title. Then it's an appropriate challenge. This is not a challenge. This is a chore. 160 should involve an actual challenge that is accomplishable with S0R1 units that isn't this retarded. If you're telling me that this is a challenge, that this is what is like this is peak Wuthering Waves, go fuck yourself. This is the worst iteration of Wuwa I've ever seen. You don't interact with any of the game's mechanics. You're just dodging for 5 minutes until you one-shot the boss, bro. That is what we're calling peak Wuthering Waves, peak challenge, peak gameplay. And that's why we're addressing toxic positivity over here. Because that's basically the same take a lot of these people have. Bro, these bosses have too much HP. This shit, like, isn't fun. This shit isn't, like, well designed. It doesn't feel good to actually play a lot of this stuff. But then we got this dude basically saying, destroy the Wuthering Waves subreddit, when this is actually a valid point of critique, when this is how people are getting the fucking 40 stress levels. Then again, I read the name, and it's Yunjin's Insta account. Okay, so this is a Hoyoverse player. Anyways, so like, as you can probably guess, right, you're gonna have some astroturfing going on over here to legitimately critique a bad iteration of an endgame mode, and then people will just say it's like wrong, even when the critique is entirely valid, because this is how people are getting their fucking points, bro. No, it's K-pop. Okay, so they're gonna be retarded too. It doesn't matter. It's like, okay, K-pop or Genshin. I don't like, if like you tell me that someone's a stan of K-pop or Genshin, I'm going to assume they're below average IQ no matter what. Like, I don't think K-pop fans are smart. I think they're. I don't think Genshin fans are smart either. So it's like, pick your poison. Like, which debuff would you prefer? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. They both seem pretty bad. Like, honestly, would you rather be a K-pop stan or a Genshin stan? Like you couldn't really decide, could you? Like shit. Dude, that's a hard. You don't know. You don't know. Yeah, exactly. There's no strong answer. That's what I mean. No wonder they're retarded. You get what's going on, right? You get what I'm putting down. And all I have to say to this is this. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you build characters? If you just went ahead, right, and you kept all your Wuthering Waves units at level 89, they'd still clear all the content in the game, right? My Hiyuki probably doesn't need 276% crit rate or crit damage. He could probably have 260 and clear everything in the game, right? But I'll still roll echoes. I'll still grind because I like bigger numbers. And if you're playing a gacha game with a gear system like this, and you've reached the end game to where you can approach this content, you like big numbers too. And people just want to get their big numbers while having fun. And they're saying that to get these big numbers, the process is not fun. The process is painful, the process is boring, and they don't like it. Because guess who are the people saying this? We got 160 stress points in Virtual Crisis every other time it's ran. Yes, bitch, I have the maxed out Virtual Crisis 120. Because I had fun getting these scores in the past resets. Yes, I'm one of the motherfuckers that has this one. You can only do this by maxing out the stress levels in the past Virtual Crises. And I did that. And I can tell you, because I did that, this is some fucking dog shit. Because you could get your scores, your max stress levels, and have a fun challenge at the same time. Where enemies do like dot damage in like a circle, but it's only every couple of seconds. If you have a strong enough shielder, you can like penetrate through it and stuff like that, right? There were so many unique buffs, and right now they just went with, there's so much HP, you don't even want to fight the boss until you actually deal damage to them and one-shot them. Bro, we're not having fun here. That's the point. And some people are basically conflating a long, annoying, boring challenge to being good at the game. Guys, when 160 on your stress levels is achieved by doing this, that's not an accomplishment. That's basically a badge of honor saying you don't respect your own time as a person. And that you thought that this was a worthwhile expenditure of one of your afternoons, and that you were getting something beneficial out of wasting your time like this multiple times. You're not good at this game. You're not a high-skill person. You're somebody that turned dodge slop into a chip on your shoulder, and it's fucking embarrassing. Because that's all you're doing. 160 on this Virtual Crisis is a participation trophy, because everyone can get it if they just bang their head against the wall enough. And do you want to be known as, like, this group of people that just literally caveman their way to beating an endgame? Maybe. Because you might be one of the only people doing it. But guys, Just because somebody doesn't want to do this themselves with their S0 or R1 characters, that doesn't mean they're bad at the game. That just means they respect their time a lot fucking more than you do. Because this, to me, isn't good content. I don't want Kuro to ever do anything close to this again. If we have future combat events that are literally just, bro, this feels like a Hoyo event where they're trying to maximize my playtime. Bro, it's like, hey, we got to make sure they are logged in for at least 15 minutes a day. Let's put in a gay-ass fight like this. Bro, that's what it feels like. But I don't even know if that's the intent, right? Because this isn't worth my time. I don't have fun doing this one. I don't enjoy an event where I'm dodging for 5 minutes and then one rotating the boss. I don't want to play like that personally. Some people do, right? Some people want to do anything except interact with the mechanics of this game. That's why they're going to call anything that actually uses an outro skill properly rotation slop. But guys, I think this sums it up well. 160 star haver here. It was way too hard. It's not a skill check at this point, but rather a patience check. Are you ready to dodge for 4 minutes straight? Then you can clear. Otherwise, GG's. Guys, I don't want to just dodge for 5 minutes straight. That's not fun to me. I don't want to do that. I play this game to use my character's abilities, to have energy to use their skills. I don't have the energy to do rotations. The enemy has too much HP for me to beat it in a reasonable amount of time. I just need to dodge until I get a 999% attack and damage buff and can actually beat the enemy. And then people are saying, oh, yeah. If you don't want to do that, you're just bad at the game, bro. No, bitch. This doesn't make you good at the game. And so, yes, this is going to be another video on or sort of like Wuwa'S feedback arc, because I think 3.5 was one of those updates that felt like it was really going to be the bee's knees. I truly thought this was going to be one of the best patches we've ever had in the history of the game. But it does just feel like stuff has not lived up to the expectations that I was personally expecting. And this event and its design, it has to be the biggest disappointment of all this patch. Because this has been missing for almost nearly a fucking year at this point, and it's worse than the one we had last year. And it's not, like, I don't even want to play it anymore. Like this has made me want to, this event alone has made me want to go play other games. And I think that's a mindset a lot of other people are having. Maybe that's why the live stream is being brought up so early. And I'm going to be honest, if the live stream wasn't brought up by a week, dude, it would be rough for this game right now. If this is all we had, content that people don't even want to play, and then the live stream was next week, oh fuck. We just need to be blessed as hell that the live stream is just in a couple of days. Thank God for that one. And who knows? Maybe like somebody that worked on this game mode knew that shit was going to be coming. Because that thing came out quick. But it's not too surprising after everything you've seen today. Because this is the flagship event, ladies and gentlemen, of 3.5. Because what did we have in the first half? We had fucking, bro, I don't want to play this. But we had this. And so nobody wanted to play this because it's boring as shit. So people wanted to play this. But then this sucks ass. So what do people, nobody wants to play anything right now. Nobody wants to play anything right now. And that's the reality. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out. Dude, it's so ass. How do they fuck up virtual, bro? How do they fuck it up like this? Nobody equals everybody. Well, this is the thing, guys. Bro, if there were true, bro, there's no way the like ratio is this good unless I'm spitting. This means that there are more people pissed off with Virtual Crisis than like it. Like, this means Virtual Crisis is enraging people. You know that, right? Because this polarizing on, like, this, like, negative of a fucking vid is wild. Moose on cocaine made a post about you? Oh, boy. This isn't even about me. Did you say because he said old man? Oh, okay. Okay. Now you're disabled. I wonder how his grift is going nowadays. No, that's pretty much it. I will say W Rage-Bait though. I will say W Rage-Bait though. He really does do a decent job at just like giving ammo to every other community to shit on AKE. I will say that this guy does an impressive job as like at making people hate AKE. Cause like it's different to glaze a game and then glaze a game while lying about it. People dislike when you glaze a game and you're correct, right? Look at me. People really dislike, though, when you glaze a game and you're lying about it the whole time. You need to have 140 average pulls per patch for the next 3 patches in AKE or his math doesn't work. I don't think Moose on cocaine went to kindergarten. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that might be a hard sell to me. Yeah, that might be a hard sell to me. All right. All right. Dude, the chapters in this video fucking sent me, bro. I'm going to be honest. These chapters are objectively hilarious. Basically, it's a whole bunch of bullshit, and then here's the real fucking gameplay. He only fights for 30 seconds, bro. Exploration now? We already did the exploration. That was you guys didn't. How are you asking exploration when I literally said I'm not exploring Mengzhou because the bike feels like shit? And I don't want to ruin my first impression of the region by exploring it in a way that I don't like. Think about this for example. The only way you can walk into your new house that you just built is on high heels, and you're a man. Are you going to wait until other shoes are available, or are you going to walk in your new house on high heels? I would wait for better shoes to become available. Right? I would wait for better shoes to become available. All right, now we finding out we finding out who's about to become a female rover. Yeah, they're about to go click the escape menu and go activate female rover real fast. Yeah, great. Now we know. All right. All right, so we got another video coming up, and it's based off the stuff that I was talking about before. Right over here. Is there misinformation? Is there not? I'm willing to find out, and then we can go from there. Yeah, then we can go from there. I will say this though, it is a rough. It is not. We are not at a good juncture in terms of like content. I think I already mentioned this before. How is ZZZ 3.0? You know what? I actually want to check out this real fast. How is ZZZ 3.0 doing on Google Trends? Twitch is telling me that there's been... Ooh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Fake collab is not looking good. Wait, why did Wuwa even get a little uptick? Was that the live stream announcement? Oh, that's not good. Wait, that's HSR doing really bad. And that ZZZ also not doing that good. Dude, like, we have like 2 days until our live stream. At least we now see that Wuwa has a fucking floor. Bro, I don't know how we're not breaking the floor here. The floor's like back here. How are we not breaking the floor right now? Like, obviously, ZZZ's just had their anniversary, so like... Oh, that's rough. Yeah, they just had their anniversary, so like... What's it look like past year? Ooh. Oof, oof, ooh, ooh. There, now you can see the anniversary of full play over there. And then that's AKE's release. Where's HSR's anniversary? Dude, HSR might actually be worse than ZZZ now on YouTube. It might have actually like HSR has descended since its anniversary and it's hitting new record lows. Like ZZZ might actually be more popular than HSR now. Holy. Yeah, 4.0 did kill the game. 4.0 did actually kill the game. All right. Now we just got to take a quick look at ALG stuff. All right, dude, this guy needs to upload more videos while the iron is hot. The iron is unfortunately starting to cool off. Bro, if he had uploaded more videos around this time frame, he would be farming right now. This was like the prime. If you just uploaded like 3 videos, they would all be at like 40, 50K. I know he was on break. That's what I'm saying. But it's like basically the train has like exited the station and this was like the prime time to go for it. Literally the release. But this is the thing, right? That's like every anniversary ever. And how ZZZ holds up after this is going to be legendary. How it holds up after this is going to be legendary. Because, guys, this game has a spectacular problem with keeping players. Like, this game has a really, really, really rough issue with player retention. Like, to levels where it's like... I have even ZZZ players saying that it's all going to be gone soon. That's basically it. ZZZ players are the first ones to tell you the game's going to, like, tank next patch. They're literally all saying that it's just a momentary tourism thing to, like, pull the Void Hunter and then just leave. And I feel like that's the part that's, like, the most depressing, is that the players themselves are the first to tell you that. I don't even need to say it. Everyone already knows. This is, like, right now, it's, like, peak tourism. Especially during the summer event. Always has been. Guys, like, what I mean to say is that ZZZ's gameplay loop has a horrific issue with keeping players playing past hype patches. There's something with it that makes it really hard for people to, I guess, like, keep playing it for some reason. I feel like other games don't necessarily have that big of an issue. I don't really think so. Yeah, I feel like other games don't really have that much of an issue with retainment and stuff like that. I think it's because there's not enough exploration or open world or things to do. It's really just like fighting things and then a visual novel, right? In most situations, fighting things plus visual novel. I think that's the core issue with the gameplay. Instance based, no exploration, visual novel storytelling for everything, teleporting everywhere. You do the quest and wait until next patch, but if the story's bad, then there's nothing actually to do in the game. Oh, right. I forgot. Yes. When ZZZ's story is bad, everyone drops the game. I forgot. Yes, when ZZZ has a bad story, dude, the game actually, like, fucking crawls into its own shell like a turtle.
A couple of weeks ago,
How the Wuthering Waves community exposed Gacha's ugliest hijack attempt. Oh, this is the Gacha Grail one, isn't it? I don't really care that much, though. It's like, I think it's already done and over with. Yeah, I don't care too much about the Gacha Grail stuff, and this is one of those situations where I feel like not talking about it is better because these guys are... Well, think about it this way. They're like literally like unemployed bums who I think are living in their mother's basement, living off like their social security or like pension, actually just like draining like the life force out of everybody's. Like you get what I mean, right? It's like a fucking they got the D-gen aura, bro. It's these guys, they got nothing going on, so they're just like trying to get any sort of attention anywhere possible because the only thing in their life that looks their way is the housefly sitting eating their leftovers. And maybe the mosquito hanging outside their door getting ready for the midnight feast, right? Bro, that is the only situation where these guys win. It's when people react to them because, well, I mean, like, think about it this way. Does anyone in Gacha Grail have anything to lose? No, they don't, right? It's like people in Gacha Grail are the same exact people. They don't have anything to lose. So it's like they only have things to gain. And when somebody has nothing to lose, it's kind of better to not interact with them. Right? It's kind of better to not interact with them because like you're not going to gain anything out of it. So yeah, they can lose some pounds of fat. There are a lot of people that can lose some pounds of fat. I mean, I could probably lose like 5, to be honest, right? There are a lot of people that can lose a lot. Don't worry. Yeah, no, I can name them. I can name them too, bro. Actually, if I named them on my fingers, one person would take up all 10 fingers. All right. I think we'll watch this one, though, first, because there's potentially some misinformation in here. And I do want to get to the bottom of this, because now, obviously, right, there's a lot of Doom posting that comes out of posts like this one. But before we do that, I need to go. I'm about to piss my pants, so, like, give me a second over here as I do, Give me a second here as I do a bit of like a little like shimmy, right, to adjust my bladder and not you know what's going on, right? That's why people do that shimmy. All right, BRB. Alrighty, we are back. We're back. Let's get this one going. Let's get this one going. Ooh, I need to go watch that one later. All right. Let me go get some of the comments on here that I really wanted to read. Handy. All right, let me just highlight that real fast. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, today we've got ourselves a very, very, very interesting topic as it sort of relates to Wuthering Waves, and that is going to be the topic of performance and optimization, right? We've got a pretty crazy video title over here called Wuthering Waves is slowly killing their players without them noticing. And you can see over here, there's a bunch of likes, not a particularly large number, but a significant number of dislikes, as well as a lot of comments in support in the comment section, right? You can just kind of like look at it from like the top down. You can see the first step to being a good game is simply being playable, so on and so forth. Lahiroy was a pain in the ad to be in. Here comes Saint making a 30 minutes video with 5 ads to refute every point you've made. Well, this is the thing, right? A video like this is undoubtedly a breeding grounds for Wuthering Waves hate, where a simple title like this will result in people liking your video without it even mattering what's in it because it's negative against Wuwa. And while naturally, right, there are going to be some decent points in here, right? I'm not going to go in off the bat and just say this is a hate farming video because I haven't seen it yet. But I've already seen some initial comments over here that are starting to cause some alarm bells to go off in my head. And these are people that are like fucking nerds bringing receipts. And this is one comment in particular that I want to hone in on as we watch this video, just to keep sort of like a vigilant eye on it. Like, not defending Wuthering Waves here, the game is well known to choke on all CPUs except the latest and fastest X3D CPU from AMD. That's how you know this guy's a fucking nerd, right? Like, I wanted to get that established right off rip. This guy's a fucking nerd. You probably don't even know what that is, but he does. That means he's a nerd. I know what you are trying to portray here, but there are so many issues with the way you are testing this setup. You can kind of see he's already established himself as somewhat of an expert over here, so I'm starting to take him a bit more seriously. Like, you kept FSR for Wuthering Waves while testing a GTX 1650, but then you leave it off for Cyberpunk while keeping frame generation on. So, FSR is AMD's frame generation technology. That does not work on NVIDIA cards. And so, in like this example over here, what we're seeing is that we use frame generation technology for one of the games, but not for the other. And I assume that there were comparisons done between Cyberpunk 2077 and Wuthering Waves in the video. FSR works on NVIDIA. FSR is an upscaler. I don't think it works on a 1650. Do you know what a 1650, like a 1650 is? You know what? Let me double check that. GTX 1650 FSR. Oh my god. Oh my god. It works on FSR 3 or 2. Ah, I see. It works on FSR 2 or 3. Does Wuwa have FSR 2 or 3? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. From what I'm seeing over here, FSR looks like it would work on this card. But the point still stands is that this is a sort of unequal test between the two games. I think that's what we'll say at a baseline then. It's a unequal test between the two games. So this alone is enough for me to, well, at least have this critical point of view of, well, the test specifications before we get on into the video. Because again, this is a 1650, and like, if you guys do want like some context over here, like a 1650 was released in April 23rd, 2019. So like that was actually before COVID. So yeah, this card came out before COVID. So let's go ahead. Let's get right on into it.
So, Wuwa'S Wave. This game is known for its good graphics. It could even rival some of the AAA games out there. For a gacha game, that is impressive. This game is also known for its good combat, very cinematic story, and recently they did a collab with Cyberpunk, which is another cinema. A lot of people are praising the game for it, and a bunch of other QOL that honestly make this game just amazing to play. But
okay, so I see that we're starting off with like a little bit of like a glaze piece over here. I think this is typically what occurs in pretty much all, I think, somewhat well-designed critique videos. You do want to make sure that you're, presenting a well-balanced point of view on the subject.
I've seen a lot of my friends quit the game despite all the good stuff I just mentioned about the game, and I've seen a lot of comments in all my video almost every day saying they're quitting the game because they can't play the game anymore. Why is that? Why are people quitting even though there's just so many good things about this game?
So I've never seen anyone say that before in any of my comment sections. Now, I'm going to just say this as somebody that gets a lot of views in Wuthering Waves. Like, that I would not say that people quitting because of performance or, like, quitting. I've only seen it done performatively by, like, Hoyoverse players on Twitter. So, I guess right off the rip, it might have been interesting to see like some receipts. It might have been interesting to see like the actual comments or the messages to see how popular they are and how well agreed they are in the community. Because, yeah, I mean, they like quitting over it though, I haven't really seen it that much. That's just personally what I'm saying.
Optimization. This game is infamous for being very unoptimized.
Where is this footage even from, bro?
A lot of people cannot play this game on their device due to its very demanding game engine, Unreal Engine 4. Like, I feel like there's no problem itself with Unreal Engine 4. There are games that are made using UE4 that looks absolutely amazing. And
this doesn't even look real.
Runs smoothly as well, but most of the time a game that is made with UE4, it's always going to run into some optimization issue. It's the reason why people kind of like very skeptical with Unreal Engine 4. There's barely
That's on the Xbox. The Xbox runs AAA games on 30 FPS. Oh, so the Xbox is just dog shit. Like, isn't the Xbox literally just a dog shit console compared to the PS5? That's why everyone has a PS5 and not the Xbox Series S. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, is that, like, an Xbox is technologically inferior to a PS5. I think everyone knows that, yeah.
any people making a video about this, like any Wuthering Wave content creator. I barely see anyone talk about it. And then as soon as someone talk about it, the comments are going to attack them saying like, oh, just buy a new PC. It's basically the same argument like if you're homeless, just buy a house. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to make a benchmark on Wuthering Wave. I'm going to compare this game with another AAA game.
Well, I guess this is the thing. In some situations, buying a PC buying a new PC or a new console is 100% the answer. And this is one situation where I'll tell you where buying a new one is probably the legitimate answer. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? If you're using a GTX 1650, yes, if your graphics card came out on here, maybe it's a good idea to get a new one. Where it debuted at 149 USD. Yes, a $150 graphics card from 2019. Just so you know, this means it has sucked ass since it was made. A 149 debuting graphics card is not good. It is not going to be good in any game. It is going to be like a mid-tier kind of like bad card for every game. And so, like, if you're not running, like if you want to play the game on high settings with decent FPS, yes, bro, you will need to get a new graphics card if you're still using something like this. Or you're gonna be playing the game on low at like 30 FPS, but it's a 7-year-old card that released at $150 with 4 gigabytes of VRAM. That's the bottom of the bottom tier, the budget of the budget. You use this to make your son's, your 10-year-old son's gaming computer that he plays like fucking Pal World on, bro. I don't know.
I'm going to showcase
Pal World is probably too much.
3 NVIDIA GPUs here, starting from the GTX 16 series, RTX 30 series, and RTX 40 series. I'm going to
I think it would have been fair to have AMD comparisons as well, but I'm assuming that he has like all of this in the same rig and he's been switching out the graphics card.
compare this game performance in all 3 of these graphics. I'm actually planning to include more GPU, actually up to 50 series, but I couldn't find anyone to help me with that. So
wait, okay, so that's where these benchmarks are already fucked, because they're not in a controlled environment, and it sounds like he's just getting people with certain PC specs to run the game and then have a program running in the background. So basically what this means is that they're all on different systems with different controls, different settings, different antiviruses, different stuff in the background, and so there could be so many other things influencing the results if it's not in a controlled environment, all on the same computer with like do you guys get what's happening over here? Basically, I could have a bunch of like fucking malware on my PC and then be running this test, and then the results would be fucked and he would never know. That's... do you see what happens when you kind of like... Am I bringing up illegitimate concerns? Let's take a step back for a second. Am I bringing up illegitimate fake concerns that are like not real, or am I truly just taking a critical lens in an appropriate situation? I think it's the latter, because to me it sounds like he's just asking people if they have these specs and then saying, "Hey, can you run this frame tracking program in your game and then send it to me?" It needs to be the same PC with different GPUs set up in a stable environment with no programs running in the background. Same exact stuff, same processes. Open up Task Manager, make sure everything's... you get what's happening, right?
So I can only make the benchmark on 30 series and 40 series. Shout out to 2 of my friends, Wavy and Loka, for helping me with this video. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what he did. Oh, so this entire video is based off of like, hey, do you have these specs, bro? Can you just...
to them, I'm able to do this video. So before we start the video, disclaimer, some of you guys might have a different component to your PC, different CPU, different RAM amount, so the result is not going to be 100% accurate.
And all 3 testers, I'm assuming, have different numbers as well. So this is less of a comparison. This is just, hey, this is how Wuwa runs specifically with my programs, with my stuff, and everything on my fucking computer in the fucking background. Bro, you need like a Linus Tech Tips, RIP to like his entire team, bro. They all fucking got fired or left. Like, bro, it's like, you need like a Linus Tech Tips level of like testing if you want these results to not be scrutinized. Because this just sounds a little... bro, it sounds like the results don't even matter.
This video is...
It sounds like the results truly, genuinely don't even, like, matter, bro.
Just to spread awareness on the situation in this game right now.
You're spreading misinformation, unfortunately, because this is not like a controlled test. This is a very, very, very bad test. And so, like, you're presenting, like, conclusions and stuff like this, saying that they, like, the game is, like, killing their players and stuff, and, like, the evidence and the proof that you showed is one of, like, the worst controlled tests ever, where there's so many floating variables, so many things that, like, could be going on. Like, bro, there could be viruses on the computers of the people that you got volunteers from.
Honestly, this problem has been in this game since the release of Wuthering Wave, and I'm talking about it because I genuinely love this game.
And this is where I can call into question, how much do you love the game if you're willing to run like this half-assed of a test for it to say that it's killing their players? If you wanted to make a statement as definitive as this game is killing their players, wouldn't you have wanted to get better evidence or a better test, or if you truly love the game?
I didn't care about this game, I wouldn't even be talking about it or making.
Well, I can also make the same argument. If you truly cared about this game, you would have run a test with better conditions on it.
In this video, this is out of a huge love for this game, and hopefully Kuro will like fix this.
Okay, he said love like 3 times now. Now I think he's lying. So the fact that he said he's loved the game 3 times in the past 2 sentences, I now assume he's lying.
As soon as possible. All right, I'm gonna start with GTX 1650. I'm gonna show you guys my device info. This is what we're working with here. AMD Ryzen 5 GTX 1650. I'm playing this game with DX11 because the performance will be even worse on DX12. 24GB of DDR4 RAM and 4GB of VRAM.
This is basically, if you're trying to use a machine like this is a piece of shit computer. I would not be surprised if this laptop... Bro, I actually want to look up how much this laptop is. Ryzen 5 350H with Radeon 24GB memory GTX 1650. Let me see here. Shopping. Ooh. Yeah, this thing's a solid... yeah, this thing's a solid fucking 300 bucks. Wow. Yeah, this thing's like 300 bucks, bro. It costs less than like half a graphics card. The entire computer costs like less than like half or a quarter of a graphics card.
So I'm going to show you guys the graphics I'm running here. Everything is on low.
I would hope. Yeah, no, that is a budget
Set everything
machine.
to low. Disable almost every settings here.
I think phones run the game better.
I enable FSR for more performance here. Idling around, I cannot even reach 60 FPS. And when I on the bike, you
have 4 gigs of RAM. You've got 4 gigs of VRAM. That's why the FPS is not... Because any game with... Bro, you can't even run Google Chrome on this computer. Bro, Google Chrome would run out of memory on this computer.
See the FPS dropping to 20, 30 just by idling. It barely reached 50. I'm just idling here. I'm not doing
This thing would have 50 FPS in Chrome.
anything. Then I'm gonna drive around for a bit. You can already see the stutter. 18 FPS there, y'all can see it. 27, 26, barely reaching 30, by the way. This is on the lowest of lowest graphics. I crank it all the way down.
So basically, we've used one of the worst computers on the planet.
Still impossible to reach at least 50 FPS. At least.
I don't think this would run any game decently.
50 FPS. Now, some of you guys are probably going to say, oh, the reason why it's like that because it's an old card. I'm going to prove you guys wrong in a moment. So I'm going to prove it's not the card's fault. It's more like the game optimization. 23 FPS, 21, 18. You can't even load the trees. I have to like wait for a bit here. It is. I have to wait for a bit. Oh.
The GPU is also undervolted. You know what? A consistent 75 degrees on your GPU sounds interesting because I think that's the idle temp of a lot of GPUs is 75. I feel like GPUs typically run at a higher. That's normal for laptops, 75 at max load. And laptops 85s or 75? I don't know. Mine runs 65 to 70. It's higher than that. 80 Celsius is normal. So people are saying this could be an undervolted GPU as well, which I guess makes sense if it's a $200, $300 laptop, right? You probably don't want it to blow up. Yeah, I mean, you overclocking a $300 laptop, bro?
20. My god, this is barely playable. If it's like 30 FPS to 40, I mean, I don't mind that, but my average FPS, especially this new area Mengzhou, is 30 FPS to 20 to 10 to 18. I'm gonna show you guys something, so I'm just gonna idle here and then look at this.
Guys, there are a lot of other elements contributing to this dog shit FPS, and I would say the main ones are probably a significant lack of RAM, plus the CPU is not that great either. Guys, the CPU is not that great either. Basically, a 350... Do you guys want to see what the fucking... Bro, these are the clock speeds on this shit. Bro, it's like fucking 2.1 gigahertz. Bro, this thing also came out in 2019. So basically, the CPU and the GPU... And this is the thing. Upgrading your CPU is cheap, guys. Upgrading your CPU is actually not even like that crazy of like a statement to make because they cost like $200 max. And like the CPU performance increase is insane from upgrading them. So it's kind of just like, this is like worse than a phone. Like this is like worse than a fucking phone. Like, bro, that is nuts. 4 cores and 2.1 gigahertz base speed. Y'all act like this ain't the norm outside the US. Yo, I'm gonna be honest. If the norm is using 8-year-old fucking lowest budget, like 8-year-old, like this was cheap 8 years ago. This was the bottom of the barrel 8 years ago. In 2026.
Sky. I'm not doing anything, just look at the sky. Wait for a second.
Okay, I think I can skip through some of this part. Let's get into the actual analysis over here of the specs.
This card is not meant to play Cyberpunk. By the way, Cyberpunk needs at least 6 GB of VRAM to run it properly. So I'm gonna show you guys here.
He's gonna play
Cyberpunk
this is
now. Everything on low. Look at my FPS. 60, 61, 50. This is in a very highly populated area, by the way. This is in Night City right here. How can I run
What do you mean highly populated? There's no fucking people here because you...
this game better than...
Wait, where's the population? I don't see a single person on the street. I think I saw one person the entire segment.
Wuthering Wave. It's insane to me. So I'm going to show you
Wait. There was nobody there.
guys my settings here. This is my settings. 1080p.
Okay, so this is the take I'm going to make here. This is the take I'm going to make here. This game isn't on the same engine as Wuthering Waves either. And I guess this is where the frame gen got turned on. Oh, was the guy tripping? Did he mean that the frame gen was turned on for Cyberpunk and not for Wuwa'? Wait, let me see. Is there frame gen here? Wait, did he turn Wuwa'S frame gen on?
RAM is on low.
Wait. We need to look to see if his frame gen is on.
Graphics I'm running here.
FSR is on.
Everything is on low.
Is it working though? Is this one working?
Oh, set everything to low. Disable almost every settings here.
And frame gen is turned off?
I enable FSR for more performance here. Idling.
FSR doesn't mean frame gen is on. There's no frame gen. Oh, FSR is on the 1650, but there's no frame gen on that FSR. Gotcha. Okay, so it's like a... Okay. All right, now let's review this one again. But this one has the specific frame generation version. Well, this one is saying specifically frame gen. So one effectively has frame gen working and the other one doesn't.
Everything is on low, just like Wuthering Wave. I enabled FSR as well for extra.
So that's the takeover here. People are saying frame gen is on for Cyberpunk here, and then it's not on for Wuwa. And so the comparison here is like bullshit. That's what people are saying. I can't confirm
this card is not even reaching the minimum requirement to run this game. It can still...
Also, the GPU here is at 83 degrees Celsius, and at Wuwa was in 70. 83 on the CPU and GPU, and then in Wuwa, it's at fucking 10 degrees lower. It's like 7 or 8 degrees lower in Wuwa. I'm gonna be honest. The other one is 8 degrees higher. Did he revolt it for Cyberpunk 2? Wait! It looks like he literally overclocked his laptop just for Cyberpunk in this footage. Wait, so this guy not only has frame gen, but he also overclocked the laptop just for the Cyberpunk part of the video and undervolted it for Wuwa. You can see the actual numbers. It's running like 7 or 8 degrees hotter. That's what it looks like. At least. That's what it looks like at least. Maybe Wuwa was on battery mode. And this one was... and the Cyberpunk one was plugged in. Basically, what I'm looking at over here are these things. Utilization, 50%. Temperature, 75. Then you get to the Cyberpunk gameplay, and then you see utilization at 96. And then the temps at 83. So, like, truly to me, it looks like his PC simply just doing more in Cyberpunk.
This is in the main city right here.
It just looks like his PC's working a lot harder here. It looks like it's on like fucking halftime here. But, bro, it's chugging here. That's what I see, right? Low utilization could be a problem with bad optimization. But guys, when we don't know what the controlled environment is, this could literally just be the result of him overclocking and plugging in the laptop for this test and then unplugging it for the other one. And that's why not having the specifics of your data and having this many floating variables is so bad for a test like this. This is why people have parameters. This is why people have controls. Because right now we're seeing such a massive discrepancy that cannot be explained. That cannot be explained with proof because we need to know the other parameters to know what is the difference here. Why there's a difference between them. Basically, what I'm getting to is there's a big delta right now that I'm seeing. There's a big delta right now that I'm seeing, at least in this initial comparison, that can't really be explained. There could be a lot of explanations for it. So I would say that this comparison over here is functionally meaningless until you know more of the parameters.
Here.
That's all I'm going to say. There's too many things like the temperature, the CPU usage, the utilization and stuff like that I'm not aware of. It could be undervolting. It could be overvolting, right? It could be a CPU bottleneck. It could be not. We don't actually know. So, like, you can't really make any conclusions from this one. And that's what I'm trying to say. Without the controls and without knowing what variables getting changed, you can't just say that Cyberpunk's optimization is better. There could be a lot of other stuff explaining this. And this is why, guys, when people do experiments like this and they benchmark, they state all the parameters. Do you know why? Because in a similar way that he could be manipulating the data behind the scenes by undervolting or overvolting CPUs or GPUs to get certain results, he could not be doing that. But now people might think he is because he explained things so poorly. because he's hiding the information and it's not known, you can have a negative or a positive opinion on it. Maybe he's doing everything perfectly correct and by the book. And now people are going to scrutinize him. That would suck. Or maybe he was lying the whole time and spreading misinfo, and that's why people are scrutinizing him. Nobody knows, though, because it's an unreliable benchmark, and he made very definitive conclusions off of something that's unreliable.
On mobile. If we are struggling on PC, you cannot imagine how mobile players play the game.
If we are struggling on PC, you cannot imagine how mobile players play the game. Bro, phones are better than this. Phones are better than this. So that's another crazy take to make when your first PC test is one of the worst PCs you could use, where phones literally have better specs than this. That's a crazy thing to say. I'm going to be honest. All right, now let's move on to actual... Let's move on to like actual like capable machines now. Let's start taking a look.
Even worse than this.
Average gaming phone today has 8 cores. Great, that's 2x the number of cores as the PC that he...
Okay, so if that still doesn't convince you that this game is very unoptimized...
Okay, so now I think this guy... Now I'm starting to think this guy's just spreading misinfo on purpose. Now I'm starting to think he's actually just spreading misinfo on purpose.
Let's move on to a more stronger GPU, the 30 series, specifically RTX 3080. So this computer is equipped...
All right, Ryzen 7 5700X. Awesome. Okay, looks like we actually got some good tech this time. Video memory 10 gigs. All right, and then we got 3080.
With AMD Ryzen 7, the graphics card is RTX 3080. We're running this game on DX11, 32GB of DDR4 RAM, 10GB of VRAM. A lot of you guys probably think, wow, that card shouldn't have any problem running this game on high graphics, right? It's a very strong card. Ryzen 7, RTX 3080, you know, 10GB of VRAM. I got news for you guys. It's wrong.
Wait, this is DDR4? Whoopsies.
The graphics here, this is on balanced performance right here.
Okay.
This is RTX 3080, by the way. Keep that in mind.
Okay. 16x anisotropic filtering. And 1440p. You're running on 1440p. Dude. You're not going to get a good FPS in 1440p because... Bro, this is not a 1440p card. Dude, yes, if you run... Dude, do you know how much more pixels 1440 is compared to 1080? Bro, let me tell you how many pixels are in 1080p. Are you ready? This is how many pixels are in there, bro. You just literally put in the multiplication. Now let's look at 2560 times 1440. Bro, look how many pixels are in there. It's almost double. You need at least 12 gigs of VRAM to run this correctly. He's not running real 1440. He's running DLSS. Guys, that's still not going to be as good as just running 1080, which is what the card and all its projections are based off of. It's 1080. Oh, good lord. 3080 is not for 1440p. There's no graphics. Bro, if you're going to be running the game on high settings or relatively high settings, bro, that's one of the reasons for why my FPS isn't good, because I run it on 1440. People don't actually know I run the game on 1440. It would look a lot smoother if I did this. It would look a lot smoother if I was running on 1920 by 1080. I'm on 1440 the whole fucking time. Like, people don't realize that. Like, guys, it's a lot. It is a lot. Oh, my frame rate's been locked. Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. It's so like, bro. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Performance right here. This RTX 3080, by the way, keep that in mind.
A 3080 is a 1440p card. What are you talking about? Not for Wuthering Waves, you fucking moron. Yes, you'll be able to run Pong in 1440p. Yes, you'll be able to run Pong and Pac-Man in 1440p, bro. Yes, you'll be able to play Genshin Impact in 1440p. Just because it's 1440p in some games, that doesn't mean it's 1440p for every game. You fucking moron. Some games had different graphical requirements, bro. Just because it's a 1440p for one of them doesn't mean it's 1440p for all of them. Why is Ugg so confident in PC specs? How about you give a reason for me not to be unconfident? Anyways, basically what we're looking at over here is there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here. Okay, how about this? Can you guys show me a game that looks better than Wuwa that runs at a better frame rate? ZZZ does not look better than Wuwa. Stop fucking LARPing. Anyways, so, like, this is the thing. You can't say it's poorly optimized unless there are better optimized comparisons.
Alright, driving around the bamboo forest.
Forza 5 and 6. You do realize that Forza's able to get away with stuff like... You know, racing games are able to get away with better graphics because they don't render anything else on the fucking game. So all of their polygons that are ever getting generated at once are all dedicated to the cars and not to anything else. And so the graphics of racing games cannot be compared to any other actual game.
This is performance graphics right here. 45 FPS, 47. Or 39.
So is a 3080 supposed to run at 38% utilization and 72 degrees Celsius? I'm gonna be honest here. That looks wrong. I know for a fact for a PC that's fucking low. There is something wrong with that one, bro. What? Bro, what is this benchmark? What the fuck even is that? How do you get such low utilization and temperature?
Imagine
Bro,
your dream
you are bottlenecked like crazy somewhere.
PC is buying RTX 3080 thinking, oh, I should be able to run Wuthering Wave perfectly fine with that card. Oh, man.
So when we already have the suspicion that he's been undervolting and overclocking in the video, and now you see this, are you starting to get some concerns about the legitimacy of some of these tests?
I got news for you guys, man. I'm so sorry. Keep in mind, RTX 3080, despite release years ago, it is still very expensive and a very powerful card. This card can run any other major title with no problem, except Wuthering Wave.
You're running at 1440p with every fucking setting turned on. Bro, the grass looks like that. You're running this 1440p at 60 FPS with grass that looks like that as you're speeding around the landscape in a motorcycle. I think the game is fine. You have 60 FPS while your shit is undervolted. I think the game is fine, bro. However, why is your GPU stuck and capped at 60% utilization? Where is, like, yeah, why don't you go find out what's wrong with your bottleneck somewhere?
So, driving around this area, 60 FPS, 69, 55, you can see the stutter. It's terrible.
Sorry, let me just, let's just play the voice line as this clip is
FPS
playing.
69, 55, you can see the stutter. It's terrible.
I know for a certain he, like, was not able to say that line properly because this does not look terrible. What do you mean, terrible? This looks great. You're hitting 60 FPS while driving while there's fucking... Look at the fucking ray tracing grass physics you have on. You're telling me 60 FPS when you got all this shit is bad on 1440? Remember when I said this video was just made to farm hate, and no matter what was in it, you'll have Hoyoshil saying the video is spitting hot fire? Bro, what is bad about this, bro?
It barely keeping 60 FPS, barely.
Bro, what was wrong with that? Bro, what was wrong with that? We're on 16x and it's dropped.
Keep dropping to 40, 50.
Bro, he just hit 80. I think he's literally sandbagging this setup. I am of the opinion he's undervolting and griefing the card because you can see over here, it hits 90 and then 82. It seems like he's intentionally undervolting it to get bad FPS. Literally, you can see the utilization goes higher with higher FPS, but somehow it's locked at 60 the entire time. Look at this. 82% right here, 89 FPS. Then we just somehow keep bumping it down, and the utilization keeps dropping, and so does the FPS.
The performances drop.
I think he just capped it in the background. He actually capped his utilization or something like that, is running some fucky shit in the background, and that's why he won't show the controls and the parameters.
All right, I'm gonna drive here. Look, I'm gonna go to...
I think he actually is spreading the craziest misinformation we've ever seen in the space here.
The spot, the waterfall area. Let's see here, 50.
Nah, I think he's lying. No, after I saw that spike up to 89 and high utilization, and then just seeing this utilization cap throughout the entire demo.
To run modern games. I'm gonna show you guys the same computer in Cyberpunk again on ultra settings. All right, let's move on to Cyberpunk here. I guess you guys can see.
Guys, I think he's just gonna revolt the card properly. Let's see what the utilization is. Ah, so now we're at 90 plus.
Okay. It can keep a consistent 60 FPS, 70 FPS.
Okay. Now we're hitting 80s and 90s here.
Turn on to high. Meanwhile, in Wondering Wave earlier, everything is on balance.
That's because you undervolted the fucking GPU and CPU. That's what it looks like. It looks like you've just been undervolting everything.
And low. It cannot...
It's the same. It's the same average. 76% utilization. This says 33. And 49. This says 72 and 73.
Look at the performance. 80 FPS, 75, 76, 60.
He won't admit that for some reason? Oh, what? That you guys are retarded idiots? Should be a 98 to 99. Okay, so you've already said that the optimization should be higher in Wuwa like it is for very many people when they're playing the game. The game's optimization is shit. Guys, you can say the game is badly optimized without lying about it. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can say the game is optimized without looking like you're lying about it, like this video is.
It can keep a consistent 60 FPS, 70 FPS, despite everything turned on to high.
Why is Saint making a video on this topic when he has no clue? And you're saying this guy does.
Meanwhile, in Wondering Wave earlier, everything is on balance and low. It cannot even keep a consistent 60 FPS. We're talking...
Everything's on balanced and low when we have 16x anisotropic filtering on 1440p? Wait, you have 16x anisotropic filtering enabled, and you just said everything's on balanced and low. Bro, show me a single fucking balanced and low setting that gives you fucking this, bro. 16x anisotropic filtering is what is on balanced and low? What's yours at? One? Yeah, no, mine's at 1. I'm just saying.
All right, driving around the bamboo forest.
Yeah, so basically, this video hinges on the Cyberpunk versus Wuthering Waves test to say that this game on an entirely different engine is better optimized than Wuthering Waves because it looks like we're having totally different bottlenecks at certain points that look like they're man-made.
Yeah. I have no words. I have no words. 7.
Yeah, so when this can be explained by you just undervolting Wuthering Waves during the recordings, and that's what it looks like, because I have a clip in here where you spike up to 89 FPS and then the utilization actually goes higher for the first time in the fucking thing. Like, when I have this frame in here, I think you're sandbagging the game on purpose. And you're spreading misinformation on purpose. And you made this entire video just because you were playing around with your fucking overclocking setup. And you could intentionally make games run badly by undervolting them. That's what this looks like over here. This looks like you undervolted the game severely because it would run higher at higher fucking utilization, but you're intentionally keeping it down. Or you're underclocking it. I don't fucking care, bro. Right? It's either an undervolt, and this is the point. People are not, the general gaming audience is not going to understand what is going on behind the fucking scenes. Nobody's really going to truly understand it. Basically, what I'm saying is that if you own a computer with a GPU, you can literally go ahead and make your graphics card worse by simply touching a couple of settings. You can make it perform significantly worse and not have it operate at its typical capacity and speed by just bumping a couple of things down. And that looks like what he's doing over here, intentionally sandbagging and bumping down the performance of this GPU because it shows 90 FPS at like 80% utilization, yet we seem capped at 60 and really capped on the utilization as well. It looks like there's an active FPS cap in the game that's active, and that's why the utilization is down, and it would go higher if you were allowed to go higher. It almost looks like VSync with the 60 FPS, the 60 hertz monitor is active, and then VSync turned off a little bit over here. It's like VSync turned off for half a second over here. That's what it feels like, right? When you jump up to 90 FPS, right? And then go back down to 60 immediately. That's what it looks like, right? So it could be VSync. It could be underclocking. It could be a bunch of different things, right? It could actually be bad optimization. But that's the thing. Without a controlled test, without actually isolating the variables that people are changing, anything, any difference, any sort of like whatever can be explained by, well, it's some other shit in the background because nothing was ever established in the fucking first place. And again, the comparisons here, they don't make that much sense. Now let's see what the 480 is, I guess.
If this still doesn't convince you, let's move on to the next GPU, RTX 4060. This is what we're going to be working with. 13th gen Intel Core i5 RTX 4060.
So we're using a laptop. Okay, it's got 8 gigabytes of VRAM, so it's going to be even worse. 8 gigs of VRAM. So I bet we're going to try 1440p again. 1440p on 8 gigs. I can't wait. All right, let's see what the specs are. I don't want to listen to them anymore. All right, so here, frame generation is off. Wait, so is frame generation on for other videos? Wait, was frame generation off here too? Oh, there was no frame gen. Yeah, 3080 doesn't support frame gen. Okay, was there frame gen on here? Wait, is DLSS frame gen? Okay. Okay, so he turned frame gen off for these two tests. But he has DLSS on here. DLSS is just upscaling. Okay, guys. So DLSS might not be frame gen, but it solves the purpose of getting you more frames per second. It accomplishes the goal of getting you more frames in game. You have a higher frame rate if you turn on DLSS. Is that fair? Okay. So it looks like the frame gen is working properly, or the higher frames is working properly for this one. All right.
No,
just wanted to establish that again, so I know where I'm coming from when I do these comparisons.
Everything is on high here.
Okay, so we got the 120 cap, no VSync, everything's on high. All right. All right, so now we're just doing 1440p on 8 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah, look at the FPS dropping to 53, 56, 52. Bruh. Yeah, look at the stutter there. What the hell is that?
You're on 1440p with ray tracing on an 8 gigabyte VRAM card. You're using a 460 mobile with 8 gigs of VRAM with ray tracing on an 8 gigabyte VRAM card. Bro, this is like Jedazad goes to the gym, and for his first set, you put on 2 plates. He's going to die.
The difference between this card, despite the VRAM is lower than 3080, it have a better DLSS technology than 3080. But still, even with that, we're still struggling to reach 60 FPS. You could
This is one of the worst videos I think I've ever seen.
just put it on low graphics. I'll show you guys.
I now see why it's so liked, because you can just say Wuwa'S bad, and unfortunately, this is the thing. The Wuthering Waves audience is really open to critiques, and this critique is basically just astroturfing to the highest degree. The guy basically takes the game and, without even close to a controlled environment, runs the most fucked up tests imaginable that I think anyone has ever seen, where a 4060 is actually a worse card than a 3080. Yeah, you might be surprised by that. Yes, a 3080 is better than a 4060. That's because the 80 is bigger than the 60. And what he does over here is he never establishes the baseline, and this is what I truly believe. He talks so much about, like, loving the game and stuff like that right over here. Like, listen to this.
Of this game. If I didn't care about this game, I wouldn't even be talking about it or making.
I just think he's lying through his fucking teeth. Because who says that they love the game that much in such a weird fucking way as they get into, like, these really fucked up tests? These, like, really, really fucked up tests. And I think I've already shown you, right, with a lot of, like, the comparisons, right, with a lot of, like, the whole one FSR is frame gen and then the other doesn't have frame gen and stuff like that, right? And the fact that he's saying, like, a fucking 1650 with specs like these is, like, better than a phone, when I think every phone you can buy nowadays is better than this one, and this is a $300 laptop that he's, like, saying is, like, people have been using for, like, fucking 9 years. Bro, if you've been using a $300 laptop for fucking, like, 8 years at this point, bro, like, what are we even talking about over here, man? Like, yes, an upgrade has been fucking due for a while. Yeah, if it's a $300 laptop for fucking 2019, bro, retire that shit. Oh my fucking god, it's on its last legs. And then over here, like, the utilization, bro, this is what I don't understand. How is the utilization on this card so dog shit low on 58%, yet somehow on the 4080 we're hitting 99? Like, how are we hitting 99 here? How are we hitting 99% GPU utilization over here? And then over here, we're at, like, fucking a constant, like, 50. This stuff is never explained. This stuff is never established. It's never explained. It's never clarified. It's never even, like, talked about. And the end result is I can't believe any of these actual tests. You can just say this about performance and optimization in Wuwa. It has definitely hit a major fucking gap in population dense areas. We all know how bad Star Torch Academy is. It is without a doubt the laggiest area in the fucking game. But to go ahead and just make declarative statements like this over here, right? And editor, put this in the fucking intro if you want. I need to go back and just show you guys what he's calling terrible. This is what he's calling terrible. Listen.
So driving around this area, 60 FPS, 69, 55. You can see the stutter. It's terrible.
What does terrible mean? This is you're saying that, bro, let me just mute this retard. Bro. Terrible. This is terrible. I hate this. This looks bad. Awful. This looks bad. As we're hitting like 80 FPS because our fucking thing, like holding down the game, like fucking choking it out at 60 is like disabled. Bro. And I don't know what he's talking about over here with this whole stuttering. Like just listen to what he's saying here.
All right, driving around the bamboo forest. This is performance graphics right here. 45 FPS, 47. Or 39. Imagine your dream PC is buying RTX 3080 thinking, oh, I should be able to run Wuthering Wave perfectly fine with that card. Oh man.
This is perfectly fine. You want 1440p.
I got news for you guys, man. I'm so sorry. Keep in mind, RTX 3080, despite release.
And guys, I don't think an RTX 3080 is a fucking dream PC for anybody. Bro, like RTX 3080s are like $400 refurbished nowadays, bro. They're fucking 40, dude, they're actually fucking, they're $400 on Newegg. You could just get one for $400.
Years ago.
You could buy it for $300?
Oh, it is still very expensive and a very powerful.
That's below mid-tier. If you're paying $300 for a GPU, that's not a lot in 2026.
Card. This card can run any other major title with no problem.
There is no problem with this one. I think that alone is kind of like enough for me. Because this video truly is, I think, an appeal to Hoyo shills. By doing this, all it does is just incorrectly portray information, do wild tests that don't actually make sense, has unequal settings between the two games, and of course, different engines. And this video basically relies on you not actually knowing anything about computers at all, when it's very obvious he's got some sort of like frame limiter thing going on with this game, because why does it spike up to 89 and then the utilization spikes up too? And this guy is basically just shitting on the game for faults that it doesn't actually have. Because how do you say this guy loves the game when he's calling this terrible? This is not somebody that loves the game. If they made a whole video full of these bad examples just to say that on the screen was terrible. Because that wasn't. That looked great, and this guy is just doom posting like fucking crazy. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out. He's a Hoyo Shill ZZZ player. Wait, let me see. Oh, I see what's going on here. I see what's going on over here. I see what's going on over here. I see what's going on here. We've decided to misinform the Wuwa community. Add this, bro. Aru Kika with 99%. Oh. And ladies and gentlemen, as a sort of like clapback piece, we've got Arukika over here, apparently with some dog shit tech. Yeah, that's a 1070. That sucks, bro. 16 gigs of RAM and then a i5 10400. And let's see what it looks like, bro. Hey, where the settings at? 60 FPS, medium, low, off, low, VSync off, FSR off. What else we even got here, bro? He's got motion blur. Oh, motion blur got turned off. What else we got? Ah, whatever. Let's just look. Huh. So now our utilization's at 100% on the GPU. Huh, now our utilization's at 100. Oh, weird. Why is that why are there so many games where it's like when the utilization's at 100, the game runs fine? And we're running at 1080p, the game looks fine. So the reality is that the game's going to look fine for most people, and we're just overloading the game by setting it to 1440p and doing all this shit, huh? Interesting. Interesting, huh? Huh, interesting. On a 1070 as well. Oh, getting a little bit of running action in there. Oh, that looks good. I'm gonna be honest, that looks good. Just so you all know. You want to know how old a 1070 is? Let me show y'all when the GTX 1070 came out. It's over 10 years old, released in June 2016. It's over 10 years old. And obviously, areas with a lot of trees are going to be laggier. This one is surprisingly stable. I think it's if you have moving tree branches, your FPS goes down. Yeah, that makes sense. You only got a couple of trees here, so the FPS is good. So yeah, trees kill your FPS, but this looks great for a fucking 10-year-old card. Oh yeah, the more trees you have, the lower it goes. Okay, so are you like have we seen enough? Have we seen enough? This is what it looks like when somebody isn't sandbagging their results and trying to make the game look as bad as possible. 95% constant utilization, getting compared to this dude over here, right? Where it's like, bro, how... Can somebody just explain this to me? Why is the utilization here so low? Why is it so low or not showing for this card? And why is it so low for this card? Why is it so low? CPU bottleneck. Okay. So he's bottlenecking he's okay. Then great. There are so many problems here. I'm gonna let the more educated individuals, the fucking nerds of the space, find out what's wrong for me. Because this is the thing. I don't give a fuck what's wrong with it, right? I just know something's fucked up here, or it feels like something fucked up is here. I'll leave it up to you guys to find out exactly what. But to me, this is stinky as hell. That's all I'm gonna say. Right? I think there is a problem here. That's my hypothesis. My hypothesis is that there's a problem here. And I think a lot of people that know computers can identify there's something stinky here. Right? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm the person that whistleblows on the issue, and then the scientists go figure that shit out. Not my pay grade. Bottleneck undervolt using a temp limit in Afterburner. Guys, it could be three fucking things. CPU bottleneck, undervolting of one of the components, or a fucking temperature limit in MSI Afterburner. Those are three possible explanations. Do you know, do you know why nobody can have an answer? You can't have one. That's kind of like the point. You can only come up with hypotheses of why it's like this. You can't definitively know because you know none of the parameters. And so, guys, this is why, think about it this way. Linus Tech Tips and benchmark videos and stuff like that, guys, that's literally just a science experiment. Like those tri-boards that you would do, the fucking tri-boards with there's a Japanese kid that made one where he tortured caterpillars. Y'all saw that. Y'all saw that. Yeah, a Japanese kid made one. He's now famous for torturing caterpillars. That's what these benchmark videos are like. You come in with a hypothesis. My hypothesis is that Wuthering Waves has bad optimization. How am I going to test it? By testing Wuthering Waves on several GPUs. What am I now going to do? Well, first you should keep the CPU the same across all three fucking GPUs to see, A, is it a CPU problem or a GPU problem? All this guy is saying is that the frames are bad, but he doesn't even know why. This doesn't even help anybody. This just says the FPS is bad. Why? Don't know, because I didn't actually run an experiment. Wait, let me end the video with that. After you see all the points being made, this guy, one thing is very clear about this video. There's not even an actual argument. There's not even an actual solution. There's not even an actual claim that's being made. It's just the game is bad FPS and badly optimized. Why? There's no reason. Is it a GPU problem? Is it a CPU problem? Who fucking knows, because we used a different GPU and CPU for all three of the tests. So even if this was made to be a video that could help isolate or break down what the issue is so people can solve it, it doesn't even do that. It provides no helpful information other than oh, there's different RAM as well, bro. Fucking one's DDR4, one's DDR5, and one's fucking DDR Revolution, bro. There's nothing actionable here. All it does is spawn hate and controversy around Wuwa while solving none of the issues or keying anyone in on what could be the problem. It's a useless video that I literally feel like somebody pulled out of their asshole and just, much like how there are frames being generated in some of the fucking runs, right? Bro, it feels like there's some misinformation getting generated over here with those tests. Got a lot of views, though. Guys, this is the thing. I'm cool with that. I get to take down my mini Goliath. And you want to know what the great thing is over here? We do it in a way where I don't think anyone can disagree with me. Truly, genuinely. Can you disagree with anything that I said across that entire section? I'm just wondering. Sure, I might have gotten the definitions of undervolting or whatever incorrect. I don't fucking care, though. It doesn't matter in the discussion. The definitions of any of those things does not fucking matter. You can be a semantics Andy if you want. I'll just call you out for being a fucking loser here. But yeah, I guess this, and guys, the only reason why I ended up watching it is because it has a lot of views. This is a video that I can comfortably say I would not have fucking watched if it wasn't popular, because the only reason why I'm watching this is because it was spreading misinfo. That's actually really it. It was just because it was spreading misinformation. It's Kuro's job to find the problem, though, right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know this game has terrible optimization. Yes, it is Kuro's job to find and fix the problem. You're also allowed to help them out, too. I play on PS5 and stutter. Great. You know what? you should not report where you're having problems so that Kuro doesn't know where to find them and it takes them longer to fix it. Because it's their job to find the problem, bro. I'm a lazy motherfucker. I'm going to crash in game, right? And instead of filing a report of where I crash and how, well, it's Kuro's job to find it anyway. So I'm just going to keep crashing there over and over and over again because I don't want to tell them where I'm crashing. Are you an intelligent person? I'm a case manager in a law firm. I think you're fucking lying. I report every crash. That seems to conflict with this statement over here, bro. It sounds like you got fucking caught looking like a retard and now you're doing a 180. He's a rocket scientist? Guys, there was a guy last time that said they were a rocket scientist. This is the thing. This guy would have subbed for longer if he had money. That's how I know he's lying. Basically, when somebody says they have a high-paying career, but they somehow can't afford a Twitch subscription, I know they're lying. If you were a case manager at a law firm, a subscription would not even be like a thought of what you're paying if you're on Twitch. Case manager at a law firm. Or maybe he doesn't want to subscribe. Nibules, are you employed? I'm just honest question. Are you employed? Doesn't take long to answer. Silence is an answer by itself. Yes, working 9 to 5. What do you do? So the fact you didn't state your profession is really suspicious. I'm doing welding stuff. Oh, so you have time while welding to chat on Twitch. Like, say you're an office worker if you're going to lie about that shit. Because you at least have an excuse to have, like, a fucking internet tab open if you're an office worker, bro. Say you work in customer support, bro, and you... What do you mean you're watching Twitch while welding? It's 10 p.m. in the EU. What are you on about? I'm not working currently. It's 11 p.m. in the EU. So I think this is the take to make. Most people would, if they're a daily stream watcher, they would pay the $5.99 a month for the subscription because you actually get a lot from subbing to me. Because I stream every day. Some people pay a Twitch subscription for people that stream once a month. And so you are, if you are a daily watcher, by purchasing a sub, you are getting one of the best fucking deals you can get on Twitch. Why would I sub to you? I don't watch you even weekly. Oh, okay. Nothing of value was lost then. All right. What's it called? All right. All right. Anyways. Sorry. That guy was just getting annoying. I didn't really like him that much. I didn't really like him. Basically, what I was trying to get into was, like, dude, like, if you're going to be at the point where you're actively telling people not to sub, that's just ban-worthy in itself. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you're telling people not to financially support me, that's ban-worthy by itself. Like, I mean this in the most legitimate sense. Like, bro, mind your own fucking business. Holy shit. Because, like, I wasn't even, like, pressuring the fucking guy. I was just like, huh. It's weird that a case manager from a law firm who prints out money for free has an account that looks like this. That was the point. Anyways, let's read this. It's Kuro's job to find the problem, though, right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that this game has terrible optimization. So any person that knows English would read this statement, and then basically it reads as you fronting all responsibility for fixing the game to the developer, and so the player should never do anything. That's how people read that statement. Second, I play on PS5 and stutter. I'm a case manager in a law firm, not a game dev. Okay, so like, I report every crash. I do. Okay, all right. Bro, you're flaming me for my opinion. Why should I sub? So, we're not flaming you for opinion. We're flaming you because your opinion is stupid as fuck. Yeah, we're not flaming you for making an opinion. We're flaming you for making a stupid fucking opinion. Guys, this is like there being a fire in your living room. And the firefighters come over and they ask, how did the fire start? And then you tell the firefighters, isn't it your job to find that out? That's how your statement reads. That's why I'm calling you a fucking moron. That is how your statement reads. Only somebody stupid would say something like that. Typically, when people want something fixed, they help the person fixing it so that it can be fixed faster. And you're like, say, not my problem, not my responsibility. So yes, that is why we pulled you up, and doubt that you're a fucking case manager, bro. Because if my case manager was like you, bro, hey, we're retaining somebody else. Bro, hey, if you see your case manager on Twitch looking at my stream, time to get a new one. The fuck? A dumbass motherfucker working on your shit. You going to jail. He working on your shit, you going to jail, bro. That guy's never chatting here ever again. He just did. I think he's crying. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's crying, bro. He's... Nah, the punctuation breakdown and like the lack of nah, he's crying, bro. Nah, he's crying, bro. Oh man. I'm really good at pissing people off, okay? But like I'm like really good at it. All right? I'm like really good at it. Bro, how do you think I got permanently banned in League without typing any cuss words? He subbed? Bro, imagine, bro, he got bullied into subbing. Bro, imagine that turns into a subscription. That's crazy. Dude, that's fucking crazy. Bro, I said he's so bad at his job, his clients are gonna go to jail, and he's subbed. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it, brother. I think this is the more accurate take on that situation. I think he laughed so much he started crying. This is the thing. This is the thing. Ball knowers no ball. Ball knowers no ball. Some assholes in the world are like, if they see someone that somehow exceeds them, they're impressed. That's how I view it. Like, some assholes on the planet, if they see somebody that's somehow a bigger asshole than them, they're like, I respect it, bro. Like, that's I didn't know you could do that, right? That's what it feels like occasionally. That's what it feels like occasionally. Part of that, though, is you got to be a funny asshole. You can't just be an asshole. You need to be like a funny asshole if you're gonna do that shit. Let's just say this. Humor is the great equalizer, and let me say this, guys. Humor is something you can easily develop. If you're not stupid, if you're dumb as fuck, then yeah, you're not gonna be able to do anything. But yeah, if you feel hey, just learn how to be funny, bro. It also doesn't work if you're autistic. Like, it's a lot harder to be funny if you're autistic. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. There's actually a lot of restrictions. It's almost like class select. You got a certain stats before you can multi-class into Bard. All right. Guys, I'm trying to think of stuff to do right now, but I really do feel like this was it. This was like the main intent. Because whatever you guys have right now, whatever you guys want to link me, save it for tomorrow, bro. Yeah, whatever you guys have, whatever you guys want to link to me, hey, save it for tomorrow, bro. This shit is fucked. Play Relink, watch the Void Hunter video. Fuck the Void Hunter video, I'm not watching that shit. Look at 380 benchmarks. The only time a normal person should be looking at benchmarks is right before they buy a graphics card. If you look at benchmarks when you're not looking to purchase one, you're like a serial killer. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be totally for real with you. If you're looking up GPU benchmarks outside of like your purchasing window, that's weird. Why are you doing that? That is the norm? Yeah, no, the norm is to look at them only when you're about to buy a new one or your current one's dying. You're looking at benchmarks to validate your purchase. That's a part of the purchasing process. You put it in your computer and then you see how it's running compared. By the time you're testing out your new graphics card, the purchase isn't over yet, right? Because like obviously it could be all fucked up and like you didn't install it right and stuff like that, or like a new like that doesn't count yet. But yeah, unless you're like window shopping for one, yeah, you shouldn't be looking at those. Now you just look like you're gonna have buyer's remorse the whole fucking time. GTX 1650 is still one of the most used. You wanna know why the 1650s? Wotads, you're showing fucking Steam numbers. Let me show you why the 1650 is so popular on Steam. You got a bunch of Russian, like fucking, like hobo dens, bro, running like the cheapest computers ever so they can go play Counter-Strike. Okay? There, I said it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what it is. You got like this fucking you got like the fucking hobo CS:GO setups. Can that be disputed? Yeah, the hobo CS:GO setups in CN and Russia. The Chinese have the Chinese aren't on Steam though, so I think it's mostly Russia. So yeah, I wouldn't count Steam's numbers properly. Bro, you also got the fucking Dota players, bro. Bro, the fucking Peruvian Dota players. Bro, they probably got 1650s as well, okay? Yeah, I know all about Peru, bro. I know all about Peru and Dota, bro. So yeah, I think Dota and CSGO alone should drive so many 1650s, it's unreal. Because guess what runs well on a 1650? Dota 2 and what's it called? CSGO. And guess what the most popular games on Steam are? Dota 2 and CSGO. There are people that have just those two games in their library and thousands of hours. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Balkan Bros. Lot of people know Eastern Europeans and what's it called? Like fucking fucking Latinos, bro. For online, most of your online friends are probably like Eastern Europeans and shit. Bro, do you know how many they are? They're playing on shitty gear, bro. They just don't have that much money, but it is what it is, right? Hey, think about it this way. When you don't actually have a lot of money, games are truly like, games are like the reverse. Online games like this are like the reverse inflation. Who could have thought like 30 years ago you'd be able to have free entertainment that's this engaging? That's like healthy. As in, it's healthy because you're not killing your body while you're doing it. And it's cheap too, right? I'll dare say gaming is inherently healthier than other hobbies. You can't really get injured while you're gaming. You can't like overdose on drugs while you're gaming. You can't drink so much you get hit by a car while you're gaming. And what do you think the kids in Russia and South America? It keeps them off the streets. It literally keeps them off the streets, like the gangs, the what's it called, all of that stuff. Bro, I'm pretty sure you'd rather, if you were living in South America or like a crime-infested area, you'd rather your kid just be addicted to games, sitting at home all day, than going outside and getting shot. Like I'd rather they sit home and play games all day than go outside and get shot. I'm gonna be so for real with you. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, we all know Latin America is a little dangerous in some places, so the kids there can just go play games instead with their friends. They go hang out online so they don't get fucking blicked IRL, bro. And think about it that way. Same thing with, like, the ghetto. Bro, there are probably so many, like, families saved from, like, generational trauma by the kids being addicted to games instead of going to, like, join the Crips. Or the Bloods. Have you thought about that? How many people, instead of joining a game, were instead addicted to some anime or games or some shit? They didn't join MS-13. They didn't join the Crips. They didn't join the Bloods because they was addicted to, like, I don't know, fucking League of Legends. China at one point wanted to close down internet cafes. The crime rate went up so much, they retracted the law after 1 week. Guys, I'm saying it. Games are literally like, they're going to be viewed as one of, like, the phenomenons that actually, like, saved, like, families and society. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. And it helps out, like, the more impoverished or poor parts of the population so much more, bro. It's actually crazy. A lot of people can safely say that games saved their lives. A lot of people can actually say that. Bro, there are gonna be some people out there, probably some stories, right? From like one of like the places where it's like, yeah, my friends invited me out to go to the beach, but I was too busy grinding in Path of Exile, and then all my friends got gunned down by a gang that same day. Obviously, that's terrible if that happened, and we're caricaturing it for a reason. But like, I think that has happened. I legitimately think that has happened. Like, they were trying to get skill level 99, while their friends down the street got 99 bullets instead. I'm being so for real with you. I bet that's happened. I bet that has happened numerous times. And bro, I'm gonna be real. If that happened to you, would you ever go outside again? Like, you decided to stay home to play games, and then your friends invited you out. You said no because you went to go play games, and then they all died. I'm gonna be honest. I think you'd be staying inside forever. I think you would just stay inside forever, bro. Like, dude. Movie idea? Not bad. Not bad. No, that could turn into a pretty good movie now that I think about it. Yeah. Saint be dipping his toes in controversial conversational topics? How is this controversial? What? That, like, there's fucking gang violence? What? That's just a fact, bro. That's just a fact, bro. There's fucking gang violence, man. What do you want me to say? Like, bro, it exists in every fucking country. Hey, I even made sure to bring in America, bro. Bro, I made sure to bring in America in there. Not America cannot have gang violence. It absolutely can. It don't happen in Asia. Do you know what the fucking triad? Bro, do you know what the fucking Yakuza is? They got a fucking game series about the Japanese gangs. What do you mean? It's called fucking Yakuza. I'd rather spend time on my own game at home rather than going outside and trying to impress some people I know that absolutely does not give a dog shit about your well-being, but instead just hangs out for personal gains. Yeah, you know what? That is relatively fair. Obviously, we know Meichor is a bit on the wealthier end, so he probably does have like some somewhat parasitic friends. Or quote unquote friends. They don't sound like friends to me. Or yeah, that doesn't sound like friends to me from the people that he's describing. Yeah, I wouldn't use the word friend over there. Yeah, that sounds like that sounds like a seasonal acquaintance. And they seasonally come around when they need something. They seasonally come around when you need something. Bro needs to chill with better people. Guys, this is the thing. In this day and age, I think it's very comfortable to say that, like, the era of meeting people organically is over after COVID. I think that's kind of what it is. The era of, like, meeting people organically is at the point where COVID has done so much damage to it, at least in America, it's never going to be even close to the same anymore. Like... Bro, the amount of just like... I think COVID did this. COVID showed that A, you didn't really need people as much as you did. And B, it also showed how easy it was for sort of like things to disappear on a dime. Just like a little bit of like not keeping in touch and stuff like that. And it's like very easy to like let go of things, right? Because there's so much other media and so much other things that can take up your time nowadays. And I think that's truly where the next era of just like building relationships is now. Because people are like, you're going to have just a very small number of individuals who are willing to go out and meet people nowadays. Right? You're basically going to have just like extroverts going out. Before it used to be this. Everybody went out, extroverts, and then introverts would convert, and then introverts would sort of like convince themselves to go out and join everybody else. Now it just feels like extroverts are the only people going out nowadays. And then normal people and introverts stay back. And now normal people got to convince themselves to go. While online, it feels like now normal and introverted people are like online, and now extroverts are starting to enter that space and engage more online. That's what it feels like now. At least to me personally. That's what it feels like more now. And so people, right, are kind of like more willing to have like these introductory conversations, just like figure out at general who a person is through like, you know, kind of like anonymous internet interactions. And then they like, you know, if they say, hey, this person's like kind of okay, they're not like that fucking weird, then maybe they like, you know, DM them and like actually like talk and stuff. But that's what it feels kind of like mostly like now because, well, I think people have realized post-COVID, they are so much more self-sufficient than ever before. Like, do you actually need to go out and like talk to somebody today? Kind of like not really. You probably should, but like you already know from COVID, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Because you did that all the fucking time during COVID and you realize, oh, it ain't actually that bad. Oh, there's a lot of anime out there. Oh, there's a lot of manga out there. There's a lot of books out there. Oh, there's so much stuff out there that I can like read, absorb. And people realize, man, all this free time and whatever, there's a lot of things I can do. I don't know, bro, that could ruin your mental. Well, think about it this way. Why are there so many people here? Why are there so many people here in like a fucking chat, like talking to me or whatever, right? A lot of, I'll be honest, I bet a lot of you guys are doing this because like to a degree, it feels like we're having like a convo, right? Hey, I'm gonna be real. Hey, I'm gonna be real. If this is the only bit of human interaction that you get every day, first, I feel sorry for you because it's me. And second, thank you for that. But B, also, it's like probably not that healthy and you hopefully do change that in the future. But I don't think that's the worst thing ever. At least in like the short term or something like that, right? I don't necessarily think it's like obviously it's not preferable, but what's the alternative? Think about it this way. It's not preferable, but what's the alternative that you would be up to and doing? What would it be better if you watched 8 hours of anime instead? Would it be better if you went online and then go like and then like I don't know, watch YouTube videos for 2 or 3 hours? I think it's at least like a level up from watching content to at least be in something somewhat interactive like a stream, right? I would dare say that being in a stream at the very least, right, is a level up from just watching a video or watching a recording or something like that. And so that's why I'm saying I don't think it's that bad because the alternatives are truly worse because it's not like you bitches were going outside anyways. It's not like you bitches were going outside anyway, so it's like you might as well talk to someone. Or feel like you're talking to someone at the very least. Whoever watching the stream outside, you get what I'm talking about. By outside, I don't mean literally going outside. I mean doing things like going out to like a concert, drinking at the club, going to like the golf course or something like that, right? Like that's like the stuff that that's the stuff that I'm talking about. Yeah, there's probably a lot of you guys that don't really do that shit anymore because that's what COVID did. That's the point, right? It's like, huh, do I really care about not being able to go to mini golf anymore? Guys, why do you think so many of these little attraction places closed down after COVID? Why do you think there are no more mini golf places? Why do you think there are no more like casual outings places? Because everyone realized there's a lot of free entertainment out there. And this stuff, you could do other stuff with your time that's about just as fun that doesn't cost any money. That's what people realize. And they were just like, wait, I just didn't know there was so much free entertainment out there. And I think that's the main takeaway from COVID. People are like, oh, I need to go spend money to have fun. Wait, I don't really need to. There's a lot of free to play stuff online nowadays. And that's why I feel like everything closed down post-COVID. Because, yeah, the trade-off becomes, do I spend a lot of money to have fun, or do I spend no money, have a little bit less fun, but it's still fun? That's kind of just like it, right? That's kind of just like it. And I think that trade-off decision is why we had such a big shift. I feel like a lot of things closed down during COVID as well due to lost business. Well, this is what I mean, right? You would have expected, if you weren't able to go to mini golf for 2 years, that there would be a bustling line for mini golf, right? Once the restrictions got lifted. But there wasn't. So it's not a matter of like sales falling down. It's like sales disappearing completely because people realize, oh, I don't actually need to do that. Mini golf is pretty alive in my area. I'm not necessarily talking about like mini golf in particular. There are a lot of like smaller sort of like hobby places that have been completely eliminated or downsized. There have been a lot of them out there that have just like, especially like the mom and pop ones, whatever, because that customer base just wasn't there anymore post-COVID. It just was not there anymore post-COVID. Because everyone was home playing Genshin Impact instead. Yeah, people were playing Genshin Impact instead. And that's also why, guys, people spend so much money on gacha games. Because they're saying to themselves, well, normally I'd be spending $50 at the club right now, but all I'm doing is spending my entire weekend playing Genshin. I guess I could just spend the 50 here. Same fucking shit, right? I would have been spending 50 at the club. I just spent 50 here. Fuck it. That's it. People basically took the spending that they would have done on these normal social activities and then allocated them to Genshin Impact. And they're living with that sunk cost ever since if they're still playing the game. That's how it goes, guys. That's how it went. Club makes you feel like shit afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Good old days. Yep. Good. Hey. Good old days of waking up and that you're puking yellow. Yeah, that's how you know you went too hard is if you're puking yellow. Yeah. Yeah, that means you're in Bile Town, brother. Yep, that means everything is out of you. Yeah. Knowers no. That is like you are at 0% after that. You are at 0% after that. The good old days. Yeah, that's my first year of college. That time. If it's ever going to happen to you, it's going to happen in your first year of college, unless you're boring. Yeah, I'll just say that unless you're boring. It's green. It can be green too, but that's probably not healthy. All right. Who should we even raid, bro? Who should we even raid? You know what? I've been raiding ALG a lot. You know, I'm gonna raid Dantes. It's been a while. Yeah, I'm gonna raid Dantes. It's been a while. All right. Hey, we were here for a minute anyways, guys. Don't get... Hey, fucking 3 hour, 23-minute stream on, like, one of the most dead days ever. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, bro. We pulled some content out of our booty hole today. Hey, don't get mad at me. I overworked today, all right? I'll see all y'all later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.